Welcome, everybody, to the EVO warm-up final for North America. We've hopped over from across the pond as we had the European region not too long ago, but we're bringing even more Street Fighter V action your way. My name is Vicious, here with James Chen. And before we get into our brackets today and who we have for our competition, I got to ask you, James, what's going on, man? How are you feeling today?
Feeling excited, always ready for some good Street Fighter V action, of course. You know, look, we've been talking about this on Capcom Pro Tour a bunch of times as well, but Street Fighter V is so much fun to watch right now. I mean, all the characters that were seemingly not very good, we're going to see a lot of those characters now after a lot of the nice buffs and everything. It's just the variety is so good now, and you know, I'm just excited to see these North American players go at it here for the EVO warm-up rounds.
Oh, yeah, it's been a long time coming, right? These guys went through a bunch of qualifiers to get to where they're at today, and we've resulted with this top 8. We got Child233 going up against Jacksville, first match up. Then following after, Destructive versus dreaddragon. After that, it's Deznere versus Putroofgod. And, of course, to round it out, what else can we ask for than with ElChakotay and YaNoob?
Yeah, that's going to be a good match down there. I'm excited for that one. I mean, I may have a little bias. ElChakotay has played some Lucia in the past. We'll see if he's doing that today. But as you can see here, a lot of money on the line here. $350 for first place, $200 for second, $150 for third, fourth gets $100, and of course, everybody goes home with a little bit of money here for playing video games at your home. And that's really nice, right? I mean, I won like $30 traveling to like a 60-man tournament a long time ago. You know, now you can just win $350 sitting at home in your PJs and, you know, just having a good old time.
Yeah. And again, you guys saw on the top right, as we saw some of those graphics, again, you want to hit up compete.playstation.com for your chance to participate in some of these warm-up qualifiers, or even just plenty of other games, any other fighting games that you're interested that we've been showcasing throughout the year. Again, it's led up to this very moment, right? We're getting ourselves ready for one of the biggest fighting game community tournaments of the year, and that is EVO. And you guys do not want to miss it, right? If you're a fighting game fan, it's a perfect time to compete, perfect time to participate, and perfect time to learn more fighting games. Again, compete.playstation.com is where you need to go for all that info. And now we're getting into our first match of the day, one I'm really excited about, right? We have Child233 versus Jacksville. Now, Jacksville, I've only seen a handful of videos from, but he is one of the Nash players from Vancouver, Canada. However, Child is one of the Balrog players from Maryland who's been killing it. But let's take a look at Jacksville first, right? Age 33, coming from Vancouver. And I got to tell you, man, he is in for the ride of his life because of how good Nash is now. He is just smooth sailing. Right,
like,
the problem
you pick that V trigger too, and he becomes like a combo machine basically at this point. And I don't know. I mean, you know, I would probably try to do like some sort of drinking game with like, you know, like Nash Sobats or something. But I think we would destroy everybody at home, so we can't do that.
No,
we can't do that. That's not gonna happen.
We would be perfectly healthy. We're all drinking water, right? That's what you mean?
Oh,
but anyways,
yes, for sure, for sure.
Taking a look at the open qualifier.
Yeah, 13 wins, 4 losses, win rate 76%. You know, doing really, really well here. Again, showing just the kind of talent that these players are going up against here. 17 matches, but again, 76% win rate here. Being the representative here from Western Canada. Wait, I think it's Eastern Canada. I don't know my Canada.
No, Vancouver is west. It's Vancouver is the California for Canada.
Yeah, and Child, you know, he's one of those players that you don't see a lot in like the big tournaments, but man, this guy has been, you know, killing it at tournaments for such a long time, especially, you know, from the Baltimore area. For those of us who know Street Fighter V, know the players, or know Street Fighter in general, you know, Child has been doing really, really well for quite some time.
Yeah, even if you look at his record, he's had pretty much an undefeated record in Open Qualifier number 1, North America East. He's taken down every single player without a scratch on him. And even before that, There was another tournament that he participated where he actually took down Rob TV to get into a qualifying spot. I'm not going to say which one it is, but I'll tell you what, man, that's a pretty impressive feat, taking down Hollywood Rob TV, man. Child233 has been talked about a lot.
Are you calling out Rob right now here?
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. No. Definitely not.
No, look, obviously Child is a very strong player, so no surprises there. He has the ability to take out anybody, as you saw with that 9-0 record. So, you know, Jacksville obviously has a lot of work cut out for him. But again, you know, that's one of the nice things about having these regions is we get to see the players that we don't get to see often in a lot of the other events. So I'm excited to see how this match is going to go down, especially, you know, with the powered up Nash. And again, it's not one of those situations where Nash got over buffed or now he's just like ridiculous. It's just a really nice overall quality of life changes, and he's as competitive as almost every other character is in the game now.
And now we get ourselves ready for our first match here in the upper bracket. It's going to be Balrog versus Nash. Both characters, one significantly more buff than the other, but still at a very good place. I think overall, just it's such a Street Fighter V is in such a good place right now with the characters, and it actually shows in our bracket as well, but we'll get into the match. Balrog versus Nash. What is the V-set of choice? It is KKB and No Mercy. I like that. Skill 1 and Trigger 2 for the side of Balrog. However, Nash, I feel like Nash would be sticking, at least for this matchup, would probably want to do V-Skill 2 as... Actually, V-Skill 1 is also just as good for like a combo ender. Let me see. Let me see what he picks.
Yeah, it was one of the nice things that they did for Nash is, you know, they gave him a lot of ability on V-Skill 1, and so yeah, he is going for V-Skill 1 and V-Trigger 1 is Jacksville. But there you see the KKB coming into effect right away, going with that overhead. Oh, look at that.
One of the few that gets away with V-shifting in the corner.
Yeah, both of them are going after it with these V-shifts over here, but Jacksville already in the corner, the pseudo shimmy going with the EX, not enough to kill though. So, okay. So I was about to say, so Jacksville has to get one more hit, and Child tried to get in there, but nice check from Jacksville with that standing light punch, taking round number 1.
Yeah, after that V-reversal hit, he actually dashed up and went for a roundhouse a little bit too much on the startup and got interrupted very well by Jacksville. But that's not going to phase Child. 2 throws or 3 throws maybe. But now the tides have turned. Give me that. Yo, I love that. Being able to continue after the V-skill like that is so cool because there's so much range and it pulls him in. I just love that buff from Nash.
Dude, they did such a sick job balancing a lot of the characters this year, at the start of this year, and even a little bit afterwards. And look at this. There's that V-Trigger 2 coming into play. Command throw. I'm going to do it back to back. Take round number 2, and it's 1-1.
This is, I just realized it now. It's so cool seeing the original Balrog skin from Street Fighter 1. It is so sick, dude.
I saw you almost go into that Japan names right there. You almost did.
I almost did. I can't help it. I've been watching a lot of Japanese footage lately, James.
Oh yeah, Boxer as we like to call him.
Boxer, yeah. So take a swig of water.
Yeah, and remember that. Take a swig of water, of course. And I mean, I was about to say Jacksville in position to, challenging that, and then the command throw again. I was about to say Jacksville knocking on the door of giving Child his first loss of the tournament, but not yet.
Wrong door. Try again.
Yeah.
Knocking on the door of defeat, to be honest. He opened up the door and got a command grab. What a surprise.
Yeah, the lady or the tiger, he definitely got the tiger on that one. And so there's your literary reference for today. And now it's going to be game number 2. Again, there's that Sobatin counter hit. Allows him to keep the combo going.
Give me that again. The usage of V-Skill has been on point from Jacksville, and he's been using it in a way that I haven't really seen, right? Most of the time you would see like a target combo into V-Skill 1, get yourself a meaty, but he's using it as a poking tool and it's been pretty effective.
Yeah, he's using it almost more like a Karin or an Ibuki. Oh my god, there's that super meaty. and then comboing it right into the trigger as well, but gets out of the corners. A lot of times you could just use that to get out of the corner, and it's one of those cool V triggers that has a lot of uses for it. And nice block on the overhead this time.
And I like this. While in dire straits, Child decides to back down a little bit, but you can't stop the Sobot. You guys are going to be well hydrated after this match. I'll tell you what, we've seen a handful of Sobots connect against Child 233. Jacksville is starting to kind of find the rhythm when it comes to neutral.
Oh, there's that counter hit again, but drops the combo afterwards. Not
there
this time,
is.
though. Yeah.
Dang.
He's like,
got
you know
a
what?
second chance immediately after.
Yeah. He's like, thanks. Thanks for giving me that second opportunity. Ooh, chasing out the V shift with the overhead. Interesting.
My God, explosions. He mistimed his KKB. Oh, you're dead. Oh, you dropped it.
He dropped it. No, not like this. Not like this. Child could make the comeback here. Keep his record pristine. Oh, and he does it. He kept his record. Dude, no losses still. All right, Jacksville, though. This game is not over yet. Jacksville can still strike that blow on Child's record.
Precise and pristine and oh so clean. Child is trying to make that record continue against Jacksville, and it's been pretty tough though. Jacksville had the opportunity to take down the round or take down the game, but if you give this man an inch, he'll take a mile. Child is already all over. Oh, that would have been a big crush counter if he connected.
Yeah, and that probably would have led to a stun too and given Child a near perfect. But here comes Jacksville, gonna spend all his meter, give himself at least the even life at this point in time. But Child is still sitting on a ton of resources. Yeah, that's negative, but hit out of the air.
Oh, you're dead. Swat.
And so close that last round, but Child with the amazing comeback that previous round, and Child goes up to 2 versus 0, not losing any games still.
And that was a really solid way to kind of like check out Balrog players and see how they play against that Nash matchup. There were a lot of specifics that Child did, mostly punishes, right? He got into like so many punishes from the mistakes that Jacksville made, trying to poke with V-skill a little bit too close, or any certain strings, any certain normals that were thrown out. So he's doing a really fantastic job of keeping it tight and getting the punishes in while he can, and not dropping anything significant, right?
Yeah, and here we go. You know, it got blocked once. The overhead from the KKB got blocked once, and it was punished, but it just hasn't stopped Child from trying it.
Jeez.
And that is just one of those smart ways to play. Just because someone counters something, you can't quit doing it. And so Child still hitting a lot of pay dirt with that. Oh, and the whip punish? Nice.
Oh, I like that use of the armor. Getting past the Sonic Boom, but here comes Jacksville. The V-shift is there to reset. Dashes in and gets the crush counter. The disrespect.
Yeah, and crush counter, and then just try to push him a little to the corner, but there you see Jacksville using that V-trigger to get out of the corner. The trade, oh God, I was so scared of a trade combo, but Jacksville actually used the heavier button. Oh God,
he almost got the trade combo.
Oh, is he dead? Is he dead? Is this gonna kill?
Slap. Not yet.
No, it's not. Oh my gosh, still a chance. No, there we go, the dash punch.
He put it all on the line for that one. He tried to get a sweep from max distance, but there was gonna be no V-trigger to save him. You thought you weren't gonna get punished for that? My man Child has been punishing you all set.
Oh man, and there you go. Child 3-0 over Jacksville. Just
looking like a man.
Yeah. And again, now he's 12-0, right? I mean, that's the story, that's the tale of the tape in my opinion right now. But you can see here, right here, Jacksville in this first game right here, doing a good job keeping Child out here. But Child was able to make this comeback. He gets that V trigger twice, back to back to take that. And then game number 1 went to him.
Oh my God. And you could tell the situational awareness from Child is so on point, right? He has the anti-airs ready. He knows when his opponent wants to apply pressure with a throw. And there were certain moments, like I know Jacksville got the kind of side switch there, but there were certain moments where Child actually managed to keep Jacksville guessing whether it's going to be a normal or a back throw just like that, right? To get the positional advantage. He's been doing so well keeping his opponents on his toes, and that's such a smart move. When you can't take the throw anymore, you go for it anyway.
dude, how many of these rounds ended with that V trigger too? It's like every single one of them. You can see how powerful that V. Look, here it is again. Didn't quite kill,
So
but
many
there
of
you
them.
see the punish on the sweep, as you had mentioned. And so Child, again, 12-0 so far in this tournament with the 3-0 over Jacksville. Like I said, such a strong player. One that kind of goes under the radar here in the States, just doesn't really have the ability to travel as much, you know, as a lot of the other players. But you know, definitely up there, and one of those players that, you know, if he actually got to travel, you know, back in the days of offline tournaments, I should say.
Yeah. I mean,
if he had the opportunity to travel as much, he would definitely be on, you know, everybody's radar.
But he's definitely making rounds and waves in great ways on social media. We've seen a lot of his work, or at least seen a lot of his gameplay overall. And he's one of those players that have been around. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been around for sure, and is just getting exponentially better. Like, it's impressive watching his Balrog play time and time again, because I feel like there's something new to the table that he shows, and he's really done the homework in terms of how the matchup should be played, or at least how the player psychology should go. It's like, all right, well, in what point should I apply even more normals, or what point should I reset him with a throw? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gotten so many situations where it benefit him, not just because it hits, but just because of his control on the screen.
Yeah, and you know, it's a really awesome job too with the use of that V trigger too. You saw how he was able to take so many rounds with that. And again, that's another thing that I really enjoy about Street Fighter V right now. I feel like the variety that even we see with V triggers and V skills is getting a lot more varied as well. You know, it's not like one is the clear favorite over the other. So we're seeing a good variety from these players right now.
And we're going to see that with our next matchup, actually.
Yeah.
So
Coming
we're
up
going to
next
see
is going to be Destructive and dreaddragon coming up next here.
Absolutely, we are. Yeah, so Destructive, hailing from Illinois, using that Urian, and also has been making big waves on social media. A lot of his Urian play has been the talk of the town, I feel like. There's been a lot of back and forth with this individual, and for a very good reason. In his open qualifier number 2 for North America East, he had a very impressive record, as we see in the next slide. Yeah, 8 wins, 1 loss. I will say, however, for that 1 loss, it was against ElChakotay, who was in this bracket. However, immediately after, he ran it back against Chakotay and took him down to qualify.
Yeah, and so you know this guy is a high-level player, been doing a lot of damage, I believe, in the NLBC tournaments as well. And here you see dreaddragon from San Diego, California. And he's gonna be rocking the guild. So is this gonna be is this the brother match here?
That's exactly it. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of that lately too. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, 7-2 right here. Win rate 78% from his 9 matches. So again, these players all very clearly strong here, especially, you know, if they're here in this tournament right now, you know, guarantee that they won most of their matches, but, you know, only having those 2 losses, very, very impressive. But yeah, it is going to be the lore matchup here with the big brother in Gil. I'm sorry, little brother in Gil and big brother in Urian.
Yeah, see, somebody said that the other day. Somebody's like, Gil is the big brother. Like, I don't think that's true, because I remember listening or reading the lore from the comics. They had like the old comics of New Generation, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Gil inherited the powers because he was the younger, like, destined one or something like that. But yeah, it was so weird that people were so adamant about Gil, or people assuming Gil was the older one, but they're both immortals, so it doesn't really matter.
Right, yeah. I mean, look, that's because Gil showed up first, right? I mean, he's all powerful, and of course they like to think that the younger brother is the weaker one, but, you know, being the youngest of 2 siblings, I can definitely tell you that the younger brother is typically the one with all the power, right? So
I don't know, man. The older brothers look better. I'm just saying, like, I'm speaking from experience. My brother has a full head of hair still. Anyways, Urian versus Gil, this is a matchup we've seen a handful of times, right? But they do have secondary characters just in case they need to. We've seen Destructive Zeku before. dreaddragon actually has a Cody under his sleeve. But as it stands right now, Urian versus Gil, how do you feel about this matchup in particular, James? I honestly think that Urian still would take it down over Gil, just because of the normals he possesses are pretty much identical, but one factor and one factor only, crush counter.
Yeah. I mean, look, a lot of times Gil has actually been talked about by a lot of Gil players as, you know, we talked about how everyone is so strong. Weirdly enough, there's a lot of people out there saying that Gil is one of the characters that could still stand to use a nice little buff. You know, Urian's normals, as you mentioned, he's not only has the crush counters, but the range to really fight against Gil. There's some crush counter right there. And unfortunately for Gil, you know, not as strong in the neutral as a lot of Gil players like to say. However, 1-2 frame parry is all it takes.
Oh, I see. I saw the idea behind it. Destructive tried to use the mirror to catch the pyrokinesis, but it was just a little bit too far out. It allowed... Oh, man. You know, forget my thought. Forget what I was going to say. dreaddragon just running into a fully charged up metallic sphere. Not going to help you on that.
Yeah, that was unfortunate right there. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe he tried the parry. No, actually, he's got V-Skill 2, which, if I'm not mistaken, is not the parry.
I think it is, James. I think it might be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I always get 1 and 2 backwards, especially with the new characters, because they came out at the same time. I always forget which one's which.
The V-Skill 1 is the little projectile that he summons.
Right, that's right. Okay. I always...
Yeah, you like to use that with like V-Trigger 2, which he has on deck.
Yeah, my brain always, like, the one I see the most is just going to be V-Skill 1 to me.
Yeah, it works great if you're a setup kind of Gil player, right? You get like the ice knockdowns, then you get to kind of summon the projectile and then do like a jump mix-up. It's pretty good. There was a lot of tech videos with that setup, so maybe we could possibly see, or at least... Maybe not. We have V-Shift instead.
Yeah, just a random V-Shift right over there. But, you know, to go through the fireball, maybe he was trying to expect Destructive from moving forward. But I like what Destructive is doing right now. He's just playing very defensive. He knows he doesn't have to go in there very hard. Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
I like that. Challenging the Aegis setup situation right there and just being on the offense. Oh, too far away for the 2 hits.
He was too far away. He had to cancel it into a fireball or something else, really.
Look at the time. Look at the time. That's safe on block.
Out of
Chase
there.
him down.
Out of there.
Oh, he got him.
Oh, boy, he's chilling. He's big chilling. Damn, that was a classic case of sibling tag, man.
Yeah, and again, it was just really nicely done by Destructive right there because, I mean, he really didn't have to push or anything. The only time he pushed is when he had a fireball behind, in front of him. Kind of to keep him safe, and then he went for the Aegis mix-up. When it didn't work out, he just went back to defense, and you saw right there, don't overextend yourself. You know, if you can win by timeout, win by timeout. Force the opponent to have to make the moves.
And it was very smart, too, because Destructive wasn't going to just sit there, right? Like, he did want to play the timeout for sure. He wasn't going to take any unnecessary risk. But when he found enough space, he immediately went to the knee drop to the other side for more space to back up even further. And that was so smart because, like, I feel like with the amount of time left, I think Dread might have been able to sneak in maybe like 2 throws and an overhead, and that would have been enough to kind of take the round back. But Destructive is like, yeah, I don't even want to let that even come to fruition. I'm going to get myself out of this corner. I'm going to play tag and just play chase and then just move on over and use the rest of the screen. It was very, very smart from Destructive. And if I were dreaddragon, I would think to myself, it's like, man, you had that charge the whole time. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, and so Destructive, and interestingly enough, like, I'm wondering if there's like a character change being considered here or anything like that, you know, because trying to see, maybe they went back to the lobbies or something like that, but maybe dreaddragon is thinking about, you know, trying to go with a different character, maybe change the V skill, change the V trigger or something like that. So we'll see what they decide to go with.
That's I mean, you bring up a very valid point. That's why I was thinking about it. We didn't get to see too much of the trigger activation, but I feel like either one would suffice, right? Because he did change up the V skill.
Yeah, V skill, V trigger, both to 1. So there you go. So definitely trying something a little different. Gonna stick with the same character.
But I felt like trigger 2 would have been like, you know, still a solid choice because Oh my God. Let me fix my face and talk about that later. Neither choice is going to be okay because Destructive is still on the screen.
You look, it doesn't matter what trigger or skill you pick if you don't have a chance to play. And that is what Destructive is trying to make sure of here right now. He's not giving dreaddragon any opportunity, just going right through him to start. All right,
oh
there
my
we go.
God. This man is just reacting to the fireballs. Reset?
Yep, goes for the throw, but nice escape. And here's an opportunity now. Oh no, he was too. He went for the far version, and it was too far. The second hit did not connect.
Again, the second hit does not connect, or at least for it to keep Urian in block stun, right? That's kind of it's kind of dangerous. Dreaddragon needs to fix it a little bit or alter it a little bit. Critical art,
yeah,
yes sir.
Yeah, spend it all. Gonna get this. Pretty sure this is gonna kill. This thing does. Never mind. Okay, you know what? I'm just not. You know what?
You're good, James. It's fine. It's fine. Everybody gets one.
I'm remaining on
exactly
brand.
like that.
I'm remaining on. I'm just. Yeah. Okay.
There was a lot of scaling involved off of 4 hits, and Seraphic Wing is one of those supers or one of those critical arts that happen to hit a ton of times as well.
Oh man. All right. Anyways, back to this game over here. Oh yeah.
It's a great brand, James. It's a great brand.
And yeah, Destructive saying, you know what? You had to spend all your meter in that round to take me out. You have nothing in the tank right now. Get a giant life lead. Oh no, jumps on the fireball, then goes for the throw. Remember earlier, Destructive went for the shimmy, got dreaddragon worried about it, and actually just goes for the throw this time, takes it, and Destructive is gonna go up 2-0 now.
That is correct. Yeah, and again, just to kind of remind you folks at home, this is a best of 5 throughout the entirety of this top 8 bracket. And I got to say, Destructive is really outclassing dreaddragon from what it looks like, right? A very, very convincing game number 1. And game number 2, you could tell that he's got the reactions on deck. One of the biggest openings that I saw against dreaddragon was simply from jumping over the fireball game that he presented. It just wasn't strong enough to really keep Destructive guessing, right? He has the V-Skill 1. He could put it a little bit closer to him to kind of protect him just in case, but for the most part, he's been using the V-Skill 1 aggressively, more so than, you know, defensively and sparingly, I should say.
Yeah, so at this point in time, I wonder now if he feels like if dreaddragon is feeling like that V-skill, V-trigger change was unwarranted, might be trying to go back to it. You saw for a second there that we did go back to the lobby, so I imagine some form of change from dreaddragon. We'll see if he decides to go back to where he started from with the trigger 1 and 2, trigger 2 and V-skill 2, I believe he started with. And he did a full swap on both of them. And maybe he's going to try to go for maybe like a mix between the two. I don't know. We'll see.
Possibly, man. I think No, he goes for a complete switch. Whoa. He goes back into his human form. It's going to be Cody, one of the strongest Street Fighter characters in lore.
Well, are you implying that, you know, in the future Cody actually becomes Gil? That Gil went to human?
It's actually supposed to be Alex. Alex was the chosen one also. He was supposed to inherit Gil's powers in the story, but I'll get into that later.
Whoa, that's some lore I was not aware of.
Yeah, it's in the Udon comics, man. It's just, there's a lot. Ken gets beat up by Gil. Gil lets him live because he feels like Ken wasn't playing at his full potential. He hasn't channeled the power of family. It's funny. And I'm not talking about Fast 9. I'm just saying, like, I'm not memeing here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, the whole 9. But anyways, this is a huge difference from what we've seen in previous games. dreaddragon, I feel like bringing out what might be the main.
Yeah, what I'm seeing from this, though, is that he's being a lot more aggressive against Destructive as well. You saw with the Gil, it was mostly he had to kind of play Destructive's game, being a full screen away, trying to deal with fireballs, and with Cody, he has just gone for for the rush down, throwing out the V skill in the middle of block strings and blowing up Destructive's poking. And that's going to be really important because now Destructive really has to kind of second guess how often he wants to continue with some of those strings, those block strings.
I could hear the final fight noises coming out as soon as he presses V skill. Just like it's so funny. It's so funny seeing that as a V skill and being able to blow up. Look at that, blow up anything really.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people are like, why is it animated so weird? Because it looks exactly like it does from Final Fight, dude. It's so good.
Yes. I love it. As it should be. And it's so great because it equips Cody with pretty much an uppercut. Nice. Did you see the conditioning there? Did you see the shampoo and conditioning there? My man, ultimate weapon, fake Destructive out thinking he was going to go for V skill 1 after the Urian, or the Urian Aegis Reflector.
All right, gets out of the corner. Very fortunate timing on that, but I like him using the EX Chariot Tackle to blow up. Oh my gosh, to blow up the rock, but then with the rock, the second rock kind of covering him again. Remember we talked about how Destructive used the fireball to approach dreaddragon in the first game. That time dreaddragon now having the safety of the rock coming from the sky, being able to get the free jump in, because even if he got anti-air, the rock would drop on Urian's head. So he was able to jump in there, and just so happened Destructive tried something, got kicked, and look at this character change is working out really well.
We're seeing a lot more fluidity when it comes to the gameplay from dreaddragon, right? He's a lot more comfortable in the matchup just based off this character alone, just taking it down very impressively against Destructive. Yeah, the final fight combo side switch.
Smart, goes for the throw ender right there, gets the side switch and gets the juggle there, gives him the Oki afterwards, and again that V skill 1, and yes, it gives Cody his own gray health just like Final Fight. Oh, is he gonna combo into the Zonk? Nice.
That was beautifully done. Don't do it again.
Here we go. Yep. Oh,
and I like that. That's the third layer.
Yeah, again, so nice, and that's, oh my god, I don't care about your mirror.
Oh, he could have done it again. He could have V-skilled the knee drop. Oh my.
Not even a throw or a shimmy, just went for buttons there. The jump back light punch from Destructive, wow. Okay, the air to air, nicely done. Sometimes that's your fastest option. You don't really get a mix up or anything off of it, but if it's gonna kill him with just one jump light punch, that was a great decision and an option for Destructive.
I'm liking this so far from dreaddragon too, though. I mean, like, he's playing it a lot better. There's more of a fighting chance. EX Zong Knuckle now throwing into the corner to follow up. No anti-air again. It could have been the V skill.
Oh, there you saw. Remember, he has 2 levels of that Zonk now. You can see which level it is on block, whether the screen shakes or not.
True.
There we go. You're getting the throw. Destructive just needs to win this round, and he's going to advance forward. But dreaddragon looked great in the last game. Here we go. Opportunity.
Oh, spine buster. Oh, the rock says. Oh, okay, nothing of it. The mix-up was there. Oh, nice. He swung at the.
Yep. There's that rock again, keeping him safe. Last time he was able to chariot attack. What a whip punish. Okay, this could do it right here. He just needs one more mix-up, and he baits out the V skill and gets the kill. Destructive taking it 3-1.
No, not like this. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Again, it was a good idea, but you already know Destructive was looking for it. That was a perfect read and great patience from Destructive, taking it down over dreaddragon. It could have gone either way. Had he thrown out a normal, I feel like within that range, I don't think Urian would have pressed a normal because of the mirror. He would have at least walked up and tried to get a throw mix-up, at least, the very least, right? Destructive was hanging back just to see whether or not dreaddragon would do one of two things. Either jump out of the corner because he was in the right space to anti-air it, or just sit there, right? And that, you know, being told that kind of information, then Destructive would make the move. But anyways, let's take a look at how it went down for Destructive. Again, it was just an onslaught when it came to the Urian Gil matchup. It felt like dreaddragon wasn't as comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, Destructive is his name, and all we saw was destruction. I mean, take a look at this third round. Yeah, for sure, dreaddragon did get one round here, but the pressure from Destructive was crazy. But this character change, and there you see the V reversal. Last time he did the V skill afterwards. This time he just jumped away. Later on, we'll see him throw out the standing light kick to steal a turn. A lot of really good play. Here we see with that rock as the safety behind him was able to get that. And you see right there, that V-skill worked that time while the mirror was out there. And you know what? I think Destructive remembered that, and that's why he was able to bait out the V-skill in the very final round.
Yeah, I wish this rock setup would have worked. That was... do you see how close that was to being a cross-up? I feel like he had it, but Destructive just being able to block. And again, within that range itself, that was the kill range. That was the pocket Destructive was willing to play at to force the error on dreaddragon and took it down 3-1.
Right. And there you go. So 3-0, 3-1. Child and Destructive are going up against each other. That's going to be a crazy matchup right there. I can't wait to see how that one's going to go down. And just as a reminder, because all these players made it here through qualifying, we don't have anybody starting in the lower bracket. So the next match that we're going to have, Deznere versus Putroofgod, is going to be on the upper bracket side. So all the players starting with a pristine record right now, no losses, and they're going to have to work their way through.
I feel like his name is Putroofgod. I think it's got to be Putroofgod because it makes sense. You know, he speaks the truth.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Or it could be, you know, he just doesn't like the rain, and so he wants you to put up the roof. You know, the Putroofgod. So
he's praying. He's praying for it. He's like, Putroofgod.
Yeah, exactly.
Please, please put roof. Deznere is going to be the opponent for Putroofgod. Deznere coming in from. Oh, excuse me, Putroofgod coming in from St. Louis, Missouri, and he's going to be rocking Ryu, apparently. I've seen also that he has an Akuma, but going for the Ryu choice, I think that might be just as good considering all the buffs that he got in this season with a very impressive record, 7-2. And taking a look at it, he actually lost in his open qualifier against Destructive and Chakotay. One of them already being in his direct path in his bracket, the other sitting on the other side waiting for Child. So that's going to be very interesting if Putroofgod can take down Deznere.
Deznere going to be rocking the Zeku. I like this. A lot of the players here, you know, I mean, they have their ages listed here. A lot of the players here in their 30s here, showing, you know, a little bit more of the veteran status over here. From Kentucky, going 9-2. So you can see the win rate percentage at 82%. Of course, Zeku, one of those characters that has always been really, really strong, yet somehow always seems to be outside of the conversation of when people are talking about like, oh my gosh, Cammy's broken, or oh my gosh, Urien is broken, kind of thing like that. Zeku has always been right there. We've seen so much success from that character, yet somehow always seems to avoid that conversation of, you know, strongest characters in the game.
Right. And what's interesting about that is, like, I think with where the game is at right now, there's so many contenders for strong characters in the game, right? There's like a big don't get me wrong, there is like the secure 3, right? But there's also like down below where everybody is viable, and that's pretty scary, and it's pretty interesting, I should say. Scary if you're the player being put on the spot, but interesting if you're a commentator.
Okay, well, just want to mention that Deznere is actually from Connecticut. He just lives in Kentucky right now. So
correct.
But you know, that's always been the inside joke, right? I mean, there's like what, 20 characters in the top 10 for Street Fighter V. You know, that's always been kind of the inside joke, you know, for the past couple of years. Because again, like I said, it's pretty impressive to have 40, you know, some odd characters in the game. I think it's what, 42 we're at right now, and the game is so balanced with every character playing pretty differently from each other. It's actually really cool.
Yeah. So we are going to see both of these players go at it now. Putroofgod has actually done pretty well for himself at his local tournaments. From what we've seen from our survey, he said that one of his biggest accomplishments is winning his local tournaments. So with that in mind, I'm sure he's gotten, like, you know, had a lot of practice in high pressure situations. And then I'm thinking about Deznere. his quote is, "Can't put a finger on it," but I'm sure he's got a good amount of accolades hidden somewhere.
Well, it is going to be Zeku versus Ryu here. So, yeah, but it's definitely Putroofgod there, you see. But again, like you mentioned, Ryu, one of those characters, I mean, you saw the patch notes for Ryu when this season came out, and like the patch notes were like 2.5 pages long or something like that. They definitely buffed this character a lot. And again, they did it in a way you would feel like if they had that many buffs that he'd be OP right now. But I mean, honestly, again, they did a really good job with it. He just feels like a very solid character who has the capability of winning just like anybody else.
I have a question for you, James, as this match is going on. Was there any moment in time where Ryu's low forward hit into a crouching opponent with Tatsumaki?
I don't think so.
No, right?
No.
Not ever, right? Okay. Then this is history in the making for Street Fighter.
Yeah, I mean, I know in Third Strike it depended on the character. I think some characters were just tall enough that it did hit them while they were crouching.
Really?
But yeah, I mean, I know that's the case for Akuma's Tatsu on like a lot of poor characters because he can just Tatsu and they have to guess how many blocks it's going to be even while crouching. But
yeah.
I'm not 100%
How it hits on the other side,
Ryu.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God those days are over. Anyways, Deznere Putroofgod, Zeku and Ryu, again, as we see, forward throw already in the corner, throwing him around on his own stage is disrespect. But then again, it's not Ryu, it's Kairi.
True. Okay, there you go. But then he should have that fireball that, you know, just travels across this. I mean, okay, it's original Kairi. Original Kairi was definitely had the regular fireball. It was only the second game that they gave him the cool different fireball.
They need to give Ryu a command grab where he just like shakes you on the ground, just like in the old EX game.
Throw.
He's like, ah! Yeah, he smashes you on the ground. That'd be sick. Change the camera angle and everything. Oh man, that was a good game. Ooh, and that was a good throw. Excellent time to sneak in there against Deznere and catch him slipping.
Yeah. So you actually sat down and played a lot of that EX, huh?
I played a lot of Street Fighter in general, James.
Oh man, that was. Remember the expert training mode? Oh, so much fun.
When I first completed it, I completed it as an adult, mind you. As a kid, there was no chance. But as an adult, when I first did it, I felt the weight lifted off of my shoulders. It was so great.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's what made me learn how to play fighting games on a PlayStation controller.
Big facts.
Do you know how hard it was to find a joystick back in the days that didn't break if you just barely tapped it? Oh, my Lord.
Oh, I like that. That was a pretty sneaky frame trap from Putroofgod, right? Being able to sneak in the crouch light kick and then just delay the EX Tatsu, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah, Deznere, it's so good having that V trigger too, being able to convert into combos like that, but it's even better when you're young Zeku because of having that extra option of anti-airing at sharper angles.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way that, you know, young Zeku is kind of balanced. He doesn't have the anti-air. He's more about rush down. He doesn't have the defense that old Zeku has. And of course, being able to switch back and forth is such a nice thing for him. And it is one of the reasons why he is a strong character, because you basically have 2 in 1. But I love the fact that, you know, to do a lot of the combos, you have to extend them by switching back and forth. They did again, you know, I mean, not to sound like a broken record, but I feel like they did a really cool job with a lot of the characters. You know, the second half of the DLC characters, they just got more and more creative as they went.
Yeah, I will say out of the entire roster, Zeku is easily the coolest looking character.
And
Without
the
a doubt.
background music, oh man. The Strider references in the background music. Oh,
he's actually one of the Striders. Yeah, I think he's originally one of the. I think he's one of the original Striders. I think.
In the lore, I think this is implying that he kind of invented that whole fighting style, and so yeah, he's supposed to be the original Strider now. I think. Which is such a sick, like, little thing. Like, even that V skill, too, when he calls the bomb and when he calls, you know, his pets and everything like that. That's all a reference to Strider. It's so good.
I love it. It's so cool, man. Let's talk about the match, man. There's so much lore and there's so many cool things about this game. Anyways, forward throw now. This is what happens when you put me and James on the mic. We'll get into stories for days.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, now towards the corner here, Deznere, of course, with the 1-0 lead right now. Down 1 round here, so Putroofgod trying to get in there, sitting on a lot of resources at this point in time. Not sure how he's going to spend it. Going to use the V reversal. Interesting. Just doesn't want to deal with the mix-up. And there's the nice thing right there, that Graham being able to erase projectiles, and so active and deceptive hitbox on that as well.
Oh, a gang of damage is coming. Slide,
Extension,
yeah. And this is where it gets kind of dangerous, right? Young Zeku has such great normals to keep the offensive pressure, but calling out the V skill, Sakamoto!
And
shout out to Hawaiian shirt, man.
Yeah. See, again, that's the power right there. You know, Ryu kind of likes sitting back and throwing fireballs, and normally that might force young Zeku into action, but Deznere doing so well with the old Zeku as well, able to play the zoning game well with the Graham and just, you know, playing from a distance. It's just such a nice thing to have with both of these characters. Well, I'm sorry, with both of the stances for this one character.
Now it's Deznere actually kind of starting. Good.
No, I was saying I still feel like one of these days we've got to cosplay this, and I'll be old Zeku, and you can be young Zeku, and then, you know,
you better
smoke.
You better find me a good wig, James. Let me tell you what, that's gonna be difficult. That's a tall order, man. It's a real tall order you're asking for.
We'll just play the versions with the hats. There you go. That'll work.
Yes, I'm down for that. Oh boy.
Oh no,
boy.
too far. Try to extend through there, but Deznere just needs one more hit. Oh, okay. There we go. Nicely done. Just getting right through that fireball and getting the throw. And Deznere going up 2-0.
And you see that. You see how Zeku can kind of traverse past fireballs, how he has a pretty decent time with it, right? Being able to use the Graham to nullify the fireballs, or in young Zeku can use the EX command dash. Granted, it costs meter, but it's still a very fast way to close the gap, as you just saw. Big on punish from Deznere, knowing full well how the matchup should be played out. And it's already 2-0 against Putroofgod. We're going back into the lobby. We might expect the change from Putroofgod into Akuma, but I gotta say, man, there are certain things about Deznere that Putroofgod hasn't realized yet to really break down his defense or even get his offense started. So picking the Akuma might be a little bit more detrimental to his match right now as it stands because of the less health. But we'll see, man. Akuma is the Swiss Army knife of the Shotos, so he's got everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think mainly it's the offense that he's probably looking for, because I feel like, you know, with Ryu, obviously you're not going to be super aggressive. That's just not his nature. But, you know, obviously with a lot of the buffs, he has the ability to do that and get that kind of momentum. But, you know, maybe he's looking for the access to the demon flips and different ways to get in on his opponent so that he can try to apply more pressure to Zeku. So I'm curious as well now with the, if he does change to Akuma, again, this is an if, right? If he changes, we'll probably also see a lot more young Zeku from Deznere and trying to stay that way just to be able to challenge him in the footsies and then in the neutral with that, you know, standing heavy punch confirm and everything. So we'll see what the players decide to do here. So curious to see if this is going to be a character change or just a trigger skill change.
Yeah, I think of it this way with Zeku. When it comes to old Zeku, you want to do keep away and having access to an uppercut, right? You want to be that kind of, you want to have that kind of nuance as Zeku. Oh, it's a Nash. But anyways, let me get into it.
Okay.
Young Zeku is aggressive and stays on the ground. So those are the two nuances I see with young Zeku and old Zeku, right? But the switch up from Putroofgod to Nash, unexpected, completely unexpected.
If you stand in my
All right, well, let's see what he can do with this character again. I mean, it's interesting. He went from Ryu to Nash, so I guess he just likes characters that got buffed then, huh? Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll get this sorted out. We'll find out what's going on with the players here. We'll get this all sorted out in just a little bit. But it's funny because Putroofgod, you know, maybe character buffs is the truth, right? I mean, maybe that's how he feels, because going with Ryu and Nash, two characters who have definitely improved a lot. Yeah, you know, maybe these were some of his favorite characters in season 1, both when Ryu and Nash were really, really strong. and then they decided to switch over, you know, and then he had to switch to other characters like Akuma, obviously. But now in this season, now that those characters are strong again, maybe he's like, all right, I'm going back to my my roots, basically. So maybe he should be Putroofgod, you know. He's like not just putting roots, he's putting roots out. Okay, never mind. That didn't work. Yeah, you're
James, you had it. It was fine. You're doing fine. You're doing fine, Dad.
That look on your face when you're staring at me, you were just like, I don't know about this one, James.
Is that what I look like? That's my normal face. What are you trying to tell me, James? Huh? That's
You're
what I normally
judging
look
me,
like.
son. I can see it. I can see it. I'm embarrassing you again, aren't I?
It's hard to tell who's older between, you know? It's fine. You're fine, Dad. It's fine. Anyways, Deznere and Putroofgod, we saw the slight change up from Putroofgod going into Nash. We did have to change up the stage a little bit. Now, Nash versus Zeku, I feel like that's kind of tough to call because we haven't seen this matchup too much. Not gonna lie, we're not gonna sugarcoat it. Nash has pretty much been non-existent, I feel like, in tournament play before the significant changes to the season.
Yeah, no, I mean, the character, I mean, what was the joke has always been, starting at season 2, he had his legs chopped off, right? Like, obviously in season 1, early on, especially in the first half of the year, Nash was considered like one of the, there was the Golden 7, you know, characters basically out there that everybody was talking about. Nash was always in that list, but I feel like even within season 1, within the first year, by the time we got to the end of the year, people started figuring out what Nash was trying to do, and people really started figuring out how to play Street Fighter V. And Nash actually kind of fell off, but then in season 2, he got a bunch of nerfs as if he was still as strong as he was at the beginning of the season. So he got kind of doubly hit and really didn't get the quality of life changes that he deserved all the way up until finally this year. Like, all the buffs had been pretty minute, but at this point, finally, I think Nash is in that position where he can compete with everybody. And, you know, we've already had CPT qualifiers playing Nash, you know, Capcom Cup qualifiers playing Nash. And so there you go. This character definitely in a position right now where he can take tournaments.
And that is a big jumping in from Putroofgod, a big huge change from what we saw previous. But now Deznere taking full advantage of that misplaced Sonic Scythe and getting all the momentum back. Chasing down the V-reversal, you cannot escape.
Well, remember what I said about what he might do against Akuma, which is to stick with young. Oh, that's gonna catch! Nice stun! Nice reaction, and that's stunned! Wow, I was looking so closely at the life bar, worried about how much damage he was gonna take and see if it was gonna kill, that I totally forgot to look at the stun bar. And dude, that was a lot of stun on those last 2 hits.
That was a sick anti-air, by the way. Medium kick as the anti-air choice from Deznere. That was pretty all right.
Yeah, but again, we're seeing Deznere going with the young Zeku a little bit more. No less reason to go with the old Zeku, as I had postulated with Akuma, but he's doing it with Nash as well. See him fishing with that standing heavy punch. Like I said, really, really good poke.
Oh, move away.
All right. Ooh! A little outside of the range for the throw. And now old Zeku putting a little bit of pressure. Nice! Good reaction.
The punish on that. That was clean from Putroofgod.
And now a life lead for Truth. See if he can maintain it. He definitely is winning also in the resource war as well. He has access to tons of V skills and such, but doesn't need to spend a drop of that. Just gets the jump attack in there. And there you go.
And I like that, yeah, taking advantage of that stance change moment, but the Sonic Scythe does get punished. That's the second time Deznere has gone for the hard punch into the Bushin flip. I wonder what else he could have done instead to get kind of like, you know, solidify the damage instead of going for the mix-up. Yo, from full screen, you managed to stop him from doing Sonic Boom? That was nasty with that slide.
All right, now sitting back there, switching back to old Zeku here, but again, you do that off of the V skill cancel because I believe it actually recovers faster than if you just call the V skill.
Oh, again!
Okay.
Now,
Caught him
this
off
is pretty
guard.
expensive.
Yeah, gonna spend all the barf there to get even again. Oh, there's that anti-air. He's also got, okay, he's gonna spend 1 bar on the EX uppercut. Tries to sneak in there himself with the dash. 1 more hit now for Deznere. It's all he needs. What a throw tech by Putroofgod to stay alive. Baits out the DP, but didn't have the right punish. I almost feel like he tried to walk forward and kick, and it came out as the moonsault slash instead, or something. Man. But there you go. Oh, that was really unfortunate for Putroofgod, because baiting out that DP was such a nice move, but he just didn't get the punish properly. And that's going to be the end of him here in the upper bracket. And now he is going to be sent and moved down to the lower bracket.
Yeah, where he has to face off between 2 other players as we get ourselves ready for our 4th match here in the upper bracket. It's going to be ElChakotay versus YaNoob, but we got to take a look at the replay and how it all transpired, right? We saw Putroofgod pretty much play Ryu the first couple of matches, but it didn't work out too well. Granted, he did get that 2nd round, but afterwards, Deznere was like, all right, I think I got you figured out.
Yeah, you can see right here. Good damage here, gets the stun, but look at this life lead that he has. Very hard to overcome at this point. Putting the pressure with the V skill.
Oh. And again, Deznere just kept the composure down from that first win and just played the life lead game so well. There wasn't a lot that Putroofgod was able to present outside of like fireballs, right? Like if you were throwing out fireballs from that range, that's all Deznere was really thinking about. But yeah, EX slide. Yeah, man. That EX slide does a ton.
I swear he was only at like 60%, and those last 2 hits just filled it up the rest of the way. Spent 1 bar on the EX uppercut here, but then tried to sneak in there. And there he goes. And just that crouching light punch is going to take it for him. So there you go.
Yeah, over the moonsault. Over the moonsault and back to the bracket. ElChakotay and YaNoob is getting ready. They're both getting ready to face off against each other. Very high profile names in their respective regions, and I guess just in NA in general, right? ElChakotay has been one of those cats that have been leading the Mika army, to be quite honest with you. And then YaNoob also has been, he's been struggling a little bit, right? He was one of the up-and-coming Minot players over at Wednesday Night Fights for Southern California, and was putting in work. He's been seen in a lot of these tournaments, especially for like for EVO and some of the other exhibitions and whatnot for Southern California. But for the most part, I feel like YaNoob has been a little stuck now because of how they treated Minot in this season. I haven't seen too much. In fact, he's also stated himself that he has a pocket Urian now.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, because YaNoob, like I mentioned with Child, YaNoob is a player who's been, pretty strong for a while, but, a little bit under the radar. I know there was the NA qualifiers. I think it was the one that Hot Dog won. He really kind of stood out. I think he eliminated or sent Smug to losers and everything, and a lot of people were like, whoa, who is this guy? But you can see 20 years young, definitely newer to the scene. And those of us here in SoCal, obviously we know who he is because of Wednesday Night Fights, and we've seen him all the time. And look at this, 8-0, 100% win rate.
Yep.
Really nicely done. But again, a player that we are familiar with here in SoCal, probably not as much around the world, but ElChakotay, however, this is a man whose name is known all over the place. He has a very popular stream, like you said, very strong Armika, but I also love the fact that he is a strong Lucia player. In our little Lucia group, we've been joking that, Chakotay has definitely gone very Hollywood now, right? So he's joined the Rob TV. He's Hollywood. ElChakotay, I guess you could call him at this point in time, but
I don't know about all that, man. There's only one Hollywood. There's different segments of Hollywood, maybe.
That's true. That's true.
North Hollywood, Chakotay? I don't know.
There you go.
Maybe. That's
North Hollywood.
Where all the production is, is that, do we count that? Anyways, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Chakotay being one of the more prolific players in this top 8, man, he's taking down legends. I mean, we still talk about it to this day. His legendary run-in against Taquito in a loser's bracket at SoCal Regionals and eliminating him from the tournament, that was one of the biggest milestones for Chakotay. And then it pretty much got him, it solidified him into plenty of other exhibitions and even other tournaments. Like he got into Street Fighter League since then. He's been doing work over there, and just overall he's one of those cats that have really shined throughout the entirety of Street Fighter V with that Armika. He's been that top player, man. I've been telling you, man. He's been that way for quite some time, and it was only a matter of time till he got that kind of recognition.
And can we talk a little bit about that Street Fighter League, by the way? You know, obviously in the more recent seasons, we've had a lot more high-profile players in there. But that first season, a lot of the players that we definitely advanced onto much bigger things here. Chakotay, Rob TV, as we were talking about as well. You know, these players, that Street Fighter League session really did wonders for a lot of those players. And, you know, it's awesome to see, them get that kind of chance to learn, practice with a lot of the other stronger players like a Punk, like a Knuckle Do, etc., etc. And shout outs also to you and Tasty Steve for always doing an awesome job bringing us the Street Fighter League year after year.
I appreciate it, man, big time. And it leads all to this very moment, right? Again, we do it because we want to make sure the world knows about the fighting game community. You know what I'm saying? We're here with Street Fighter V, and it's all come full circle. We're here for EVO. You know what I'm saying? This is the event that got me into the fighting game community. So it's come full circle, right? Here in the warm-up rounds.
Ooh, a shimmy here. The start for YaNoob, so he's going to get some good damage here. Still going with that V-trigger one. I noticed a lot of Manats trying to learn how to use that V-Trigger 2 because you get more access to them ever since they nerfed V-Trigger 1 from 2 bars to 3. But YaNoob doesn't even need it. Takes the first round without it. So interesting start here.
Ooh, I like that. And that was kind of interesting. Chakotay, again, absorbed the first hit from the explosion, but still kept the speech going. Oh, boy, it's a lot of damage. Okay, decent amount of damage.
Yeah, remember the buff for Mika now. Once you get that speech activated, the next combo throw is the next command throw is comboable. Close to stun, that's gonna do it. And unless there's an epic drop, should be the end of the round here. But ElChakotay, again, a player with enough experience that we're not going to expect that to happen.
And Chakotay pretty much highlighting one of the biggest weaknesses against Manat, right? As soon as she doesn't have access to Orb, it's a lot easier to contest her normals and to rush her down.
Yeah, I still remember, like, when Justin was playing her heavily, he actually said that one of his strategies, because there's some characters that will blow her up way better, when she doesn't have the orb than others. And I remember Justin said that he just would consciously never throw the orb, which was such an interesting decision. But obviously we're seeing YaNoob throwing out the orb because it definitely works against Mika pretty decently.
Oh, no. He actually went into V-Shift 2 times over. This would be a stun. Nadeshko, you are more than dead. You get to do it again? Double Bulldog? That is sick. If I saw that in a real wrestling match, I would throw everything. I would throw my popcorn, I would throw my drink, I would throw my chair. I get kicked out of the stadium.
Now I feel like that it's going to happen. Kenny Omega is going to do that for sure now. He's going to do one, the character's going to get up with, and they're going to figure out some way to have birds twirl around their head, and then Kenny will just do a second one, and there you go.
It would be so sick if Kenny actually called in a member from the FGC. If he called in Ringe to be Nadeshko, I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind.
That would be so sick, just to come in there, and help. Oh, man.
One could dream. One could dream. Kenny Omega, I know you're watching this. You better make it happen with Ringe, man.
Hey, man, Ringe got to commentate actual NJPW matches at one point in time. That was definitely a dream for him. It was so cool.
All right, going into
making
it now,
things happen, not just for the, for the commentators as well. So,
yes, sir. The big stuff, dude. Do you see what's on the screen right now, James? There are 6 orbs technically. 4 now. Sorry, 5 more because he has one in hand. I was gonna say, if you lost it with all of your orbs active, I would have felt very bad.
Yeah. The interesting thing to me, though, and kind of indicative of, Manat's weakness here, all 3 rounds that Chakotay has won have had a dizzy in it. Every single one of the rounds that he's won has had a dizzy. So, obviously, once Mika gets in there, especially with that punch command throw and how much stun that adds, I mean, command throw adding stun, that hurts, man.
Oh my God! Speaking of, 2 times over, he's trying to make it hurt 3. He's gonna go for a 4th.
Oh, he went for. I don't know if he went for the crouching medium punch or if he tried to fake something but got tossed on his wake up. And that wouldn't have beaten the command throw either if they had connected on the same frames. I believe the command throw just wins anyway.
Did you see that roundhouse anti-air? That was sick. Chakotay again getting hit or punished for the speech at least. Oh boy.
He went
YaNoob.
I respect that. I respect that he went for the Hail Mary there, but unfortunately that means he has no meter now. He was willing to spend it all. And I love YaNoob challenging when he saw he was going to try to absorb the hit again, but did not work out for him at all.
Yeah, YaNoob, that's the second time he's tried to contest the V skill, right? Going through the armor, but I feel like maybe he should try doing like an empty jump throw just to kind of keep Chakotay guessing. Oh boy.
I mean, nice sequence right now from YaNoob, but it just gets out of there. But he needs to get his orb back. You can see right now, orbless Manat doesn't have the range. Chakotay smells blood in the water. Okay, here comes the orb finally, and now YaNoob with the opportunity to try to get something going, but he doesn't have the V trigger, but he does have the critical art. Is this gonna kill? It is. There you go, YaNoob. Tying it up 1-1.
Looking like you're pro over here. I like this. That was sick. That was very well done there from YaNoob. Man, bringing it all the way back. And he was at such a deficit too, right? You saw him without the orb. You saw him getting rushed down by Chakotay. Switched it up a little bit. Again, him being able to stay composed without having the orb is a sign of a very, very strong Manat player.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, life is a resource, right? He was definitely getting hit by a bunch of things at that situation, but life is a resource, and YaNoob played it that way, not panicking as he was taking damage, just biding his time, and was able to take that with the critical art in the end.
Yeah. And I always forget the buffs with V-Skill too. Being able to get Oki immediately afterwards too is pretty important. Like, it gets her more knockdown scenarios, being able to combo into V-Skill, right? But also being able to pursue is pretty important.
Yeah, chasing down that drill, but here comes the orbs now. Goes for the overhead. Gonna be able to extend off of that and off of that as well for maximum damage. You know, despite the fact that we don't see it as often, well, maybe because we don't see it as often, but I will never not find those kind of orb combos super fun to watch.
That was super sick. Block string after the orb recall, but Chakotay pressing a button immediately after the jab contest. Nadeshko breaking the back. Oh boy.
Trying to get in there right now. Rush down Manat. Get her dizzy. Oh, here we go. Is going to be able to extend off of that. Nice practice timing, and you know what? Drops the combo, but manages to get the reset and the stun. Oh no, he dropped the combo
he
again.
Dropped it.
No,
not like this. YaNoob.
No.
Oh no. You know what? He missed the initial jump heavy punch because he thought, having the orb, extends the hitbox. He just missed it completely because of the timing, like without it, right? He tried to get it a little bit closer, but it was too late.
I'm glad I didn't say anything about any sort of catastrophic drops, unless there's a catastrophic drop, because that definitely was one. Oh, man, that is unfortunate for YaNoob, and if he loses this game as a result, that's going to be hard on the psyche.
Yeah, you don't want to give someone like ElChakotay another chance, right? You want to make sure it's a done deal. He is I gotta say, honestly, he's one of the biggest threats in this pool, or in this bracket.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Big punish on the body splash.
Okay.
And now it's gonna be all YaNoob.
Yeah, if YaNoob can take this is important for him mentality-wise, to be able to, nice V-shift, to be able to put that dropped combo behind him. Now you could just basically take that drop combo and instantly erase it from your mind because it had no effect on the outcome. And so there you go. It's so important from a mental standpoint, in my opinion. If you lose that one, you're going to be thinking about that dropped combo. At least I would be. I would just be like, man, if only I didn't drop that combo, and now put it behind yourself. That actually is very valuable to have.
Yeah, because at that point you're not really losing to your opponent, you're losing to yourself, right? All the training you put into the training mode and missing a combo that you've done 1.5 million times, that never feels good. You can't ever say like, well, like in hindsight I lost because of this. It's like, no, you lost because you dropped your own combo. You know what I'm saying? Like that sucks for sure. But I mean, YaNoob prevailed. He still managed to take it down over ElChakotay, which is very impressive. Being able to shrug it off mentally that quickly and get that turnover, very, very good.
And again, that's the power of being able to have an environment like Wednesday Night Fights, right? I mean, one of the reasons why Mr. Alex Vai started Wednesday Night Fights was to get used to people playing in pressure situations. And, you know, there's a point of streaming it because you get players to get used to playing on stream as well. For those of you, you know, who play at home and stuff, as soon as you play on the tournament, that's one thing. Then when you play in a tournament and you know you're on stream where hundreds of people are watching you, dude, like that gets in your head. It really does. And so, you know, getting that practice, even if it's just a small stream, like getting that practice to know people are watching and, you know, backseat driving. Not saying that, you know, the people in the chat are backseat drivers or anything, but, you know, oh boy. Okay. All right. Ooh, look at this.
This is going to be kind of interesting. Yeah, so now, it's a significant change up from Mika to Lucia. James, I know you want to get the full breakdown in. Tell me a little bit about how the dynamic's going to work this time with Lucia instead of Mika.
Well, what's interesting about it is that Lucia has this reputation of, you know, having really good rush down and really good footsies and all this stuff like that. You know, some people have even claimed that her footsies are as good as Karen's, and it's just really not the case with her. What she does is she figures out a way to get in through the fireballs. I actually think she's more Ryu than Karen, and when she gets in, however, then she might be one of the scariest characters up close. She might be one of the most threatening characters when she gets right next to you. She's one of the only characters that can do 2 light attacks into immediate throw without a micro walk. Her standing medium punch is amazing, and she just has a lot of good ways to sneak in runs to gain extra turns and such. So let's see if Chakotay can keep this up here. Activation. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh no, he's going for the reset.
Not as much.
I think if he didn't go for the reset, it might have even been able to kill. If you can get a raw hit like that, like if you combo into it from a trigger activation, you lose a lot of damage through scaling. But if you can get a raw burn kick like that, the amount of damage Lucia can do is kind of stupid.
That's how you feel?
I mean that in a good way, trust me.
Gotcha. Yeah, he had like about 1.5 bars down below before to get that whatever combo he needed going, but I don't know, maybe he just felt like it wasn't going to be enough.
Yeah, one of the things that you're seeing ElChakotay do a lot is running forward, going with that V skill 1 just like that. And so here's the combo into it. Like I said, not going to be as much damage. Tries to set up a mix-up right there. One of the things, though, you know, is that V skill 1 is -8 on block. When not EX, I should say. And a lot of times Chakotay has been getting away with doing that. And look at this. YaNoob has the critical art. There's going to be a lot of scaling on this. Is this going to kill? It is.
My God.
It's enough.
I love watching Minot combos. It's so good to look at. It's like watching a dance the entire time. I put on a track on Nujabes and I see a combo exhibition of Minot and I'm big chilling.
Yeah, look, I said, you said it earlier, and I agreed wholeheartedly. I felt like, and I still feel like, ElChakotay, one of the favorites to take this tournament, but YaNoob stepping up here with this Minot, with the nerfed Minot here, showing what she can still do. So like I said, the Lucia pick was interesting, but YaNoob had the you know, experience to fight it, it seems like. Didn't seem like he was caught off guard, because that's also another factor of Lucia. Although recent buffs that she got has definitely gotten her a little more popular as well. But I do feel like, you know, one of the advantages that Lucia does have is the unknown factor. A lot of times people fight her and they're like, wait, what does this character do? I never practice against this character, you know? Oh, man.
Right.
But here we go, YaNoob comboing into that. I believe that
Yeah.
was able to take the round here. Yeah, it was. And so YaNoob starting to get his rhythm, starting to take the lead. That was a beautiful sitcom. That one he didn't drop. He dropped this one.
That was the one. You see the hands come out. That's supposed to be
Yep.
jumping heavy punch, right? But with the orb out into the distance, you got to time it a little bit. It has to be a little bit tighter than that, right? A little bit earlier
Yes.
than that.
Right there, he did have another bar. I feel like ElChakotay could have killed right there with, with doing the flipper shot. EX run V skill 1 into DP would have been a high chance of death right there. He tried to go for the reset instead. Unfortunately, that caused the downfall. He is in the loser's bracket, but again, I'm not too worried for ElChakotay. I believe he has the ability to make it all the way through back. But as you can see, we are playing through some of the lower bracket matches off screen. dreaddragon having already defeated Jacksville 3-2 in a close match there. Jacksville going 0-3 against Child earlier on the upper bracket, and then dropping 2-3 versus dreaddragon. That's a tough one. And unfortunately,
tough, yeah.
he's out of the tournament in 7th place. He does get to take a cool $50, treat himself to a nice little fancy dinner or something like that,
Yeah. That's a nice steak dinner if you're in Poland, I'll tell you what. But I'll tell you, as it is right now, we've already established our pretty much who's moved on from the upper quarterfinals into the semifinals, right? Again, it's been very, very exciting. Again, if you want to see yourselves in this position, in particular, for the many fighting games we have here on the PlayStation tournaments, be sure to check out compete.playstation.com. And again, it's such a wide variety of characters, and it's such a good spot to get back into Street Fighter V right now. In fact, we still have Street Fighter V Champion Edition available on the PlayStation shop. Again, there's so many discounts that have happened over the course of years, right, to get players in there, and as well as free trial demos that they've thrown in there as well. So again, if you guys want to check it out and you guys are feeling like up to the challenge to take on a new fighting game or even get back into it, now is the perfect time. Check it out. We have Street Fighter V Champion Edition, and when we're going to go to break, we're going to go back with even more Street Fighter V action here at the EVO warm-up rounds.
Go beyond the battle.
Get ready!
Destroy! Begin!
Let's go!
Disappear! Kneel! You do not have the strength to crush the spirit of the king.
Alright! I really like to exercise. And training is a lot of fun.
Time to meet your death. 5 insect.
Pull out all the stuff!
Hadouken! Witness the power of the continental. This is the power of the king.
PlayStation.
Try out 40 characters from seasons 1 through 4 of Street Fighter V for free. Download the Street Fighter V Champion Edition free trial now, available only on the PlayStation 4. And if you like what you play, the original Street Fighter V Champion Edition and the upgrade kit are also currently on sale as a part of the PS4 mid-year deals sale. Purchase Season 5 Pass now. Available for purchase. Welcome back, everybody, to the PlayStation Tournament's EVO warm-up rounds finals for North America. We've just gone through the first round on the winner's side. I am James Chen, and once again joined by Mr. Vicious, aka Jeremy. Throwing out the governments right there. How you doing?
Well, I mean, yours is already given out on your little bracket down there. Lower third, I guess. Not really lower third, right? Boom, there it is. Look, take note. That's his name. That's his government.
Nobody ever calls me by my handle. Nobody, like, I've been Jay Chenzor for like 30 years, and because my handle is longer to say than my actual government full name. You know, I have more syllables in my handle than in my government name, so nobody ever calls me by the handle anymore.
Well, I mean, James Chen is already legendary status, so you're fine with that. It's going to be just fine. Let's take a look at the bracket.
He's a great actor on that. He's a great actor on that one TV show out there, James Chen, you know.
Oh, that's right. I forget. You share the same name as an actor. That's funny.
Dude, I get tagged. I get tagged in tweets that are meant to go to him, and I'm like, I'm really, you know, let's compliment that you think we look the same, but, you know.
That's so funny. That's actually mad
Anyways,
funny.
the bracket. We've got Child versus Destructive on the upper half over there, and we've got Deznere going up against YaNoob on the lower half of the upper bracket. And then on the lower bracket, you already see that dreaddragon has won his match and moved on, and we'll find out who moves on the other side of that losers bracket. I'm sorry, lower bracket between ElChakotay and
Putroofgod.
Putroofgod, that's what it is.
Yeah,
yes, there we go.
That's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be pretty tough, right? Because again, there's no really making out of lower bracket unless you win everything, right? Unless you win the whole thing and come back. But as it stands right now, we're going into the semis. We have Child 233 against Destructive. That's gonna be Balrog versus Urian, and it's gonna be pretty interesting to see. I actually want to hear all of your opinions in the chat. Who do you think is gonna win before we give our opinions on the matchup? As it stands right now, I think both players had a very convincing set. I think Child more so than Destructive because of his familiarity with the matchup against Nash, but I'm sure he has some pretty good familiarity against a character that's been running rampant online, which is Urian, and it seems like people have picked Destructive to take it down 71%. I see you.
Okay, interesting.
I like that.
Remember, Child is walking into this undefeated. He's 12-0 right now, so 71% voting for Destructive. I feel like Destructive called all of his friends. It's like some American Idol thing, right? Like, come on, vote for me, get me in here. Had
That's
like some
funny.
Oh man, but Child again, obviously Destructive, really strong with that Urian. Probably has a good chance to finally give Child his first loss here on in this tournament.
Possibly.
Child, as we said, coming in here 9-0, so he's definitely rocking in here with a lot of momentum. So really eager to see how this match is going to go down.
Yeah, so Balrog versus Urian. One of the things I'm kind of looking forward to is seeing how Child is going to close the gap against against Urian through the ways of Destructive, right? One thing for sure is Urian can kind of play the fireball game if need be. Being able to charge to V-Skill 1 or V-Skill 2 is going to be pretty imperative as well. But for the most part, I'm just looking at it from a very shallow standpoint. What is Balrog going to do in phase 1 where he has to get past the fireball game and the long limbs of Urian, more specifically the medium kicks, right? Standing and crouching medium kick are both very long-reaching normals and can lead to a ton of damage if the trigger is active. So I'm kind of curious to see how Child's going to navigate that right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, well, one of the nice things about it, we'll probably see Child go with V-Skill 1 just to have access to the KKB to go through the fireballs. Because he feels like he's going to be playing a full screen game, that's going to give him more time to try to charge up the V-Skill 2 to get the pressure in that way. I'm curious to see which way he tries to approach it. But I believe I would probably go with the V-Skill 1 at first to see if I can make it through the fireballs that way and punish it. But like you said, that doesn't necessarily help with the limbs that Urian has. So obviously maybe standing heavy kick to try to get the priority system just to outright beat the standing medium kick, get a crush counter or something like that. But
personally, I like the standing medium kick to the medium kick. Honestly, Balrog's got such a very active and solid hitbox, a pretty big one at that, with standing medium kick himself being able to buffer into it as well. So, well, not as often, right? If you had the charge, then you could buffer into it. But maybe if you're holding tap or something, I don't know. But either way, standing medium kick is very active.
Yeah, but you can see right here, it is going to be 1 and 2 for Child. He is going to go with the KKB to get through. And then the command grab, as we saw, he put wonderful use into. Curious to see what looks like it's
1 and 2 for the side of Urian as well. Yeah, so V-Skill 2 is the enhanced fireball. He already has it ready.
Yeah. Okay, so he wants to be able to play a stronger zoning game, but he was using that earlier.
That's it. That's exactly it, right? You saw him counter the KKB against Child, having that V-Skill 2. Oh, no, that's a little tough. Ooh, activate.
Ooh. That was perhaps a drop right there, and here's that crush counter. Urian gets so much damage off of a crush counter, and then the no shimmy, just basically stand still at a range where you can't be thrown. See the throw whiff, get the max punish with the crouching heavy punch, and Destructive taking round number 1. Already on his way to tarnishing that perfect record.
That was actually pretty scary. The turnaround punch into the V skill. Okay, finally gets an opening off of the EX dash punch and now destructive. That's what I was looking for the first time. Child actually tried to contest the knee drops, actually traded with it a little bit off the mark. Urian ended up on top of his head, and so Child had to delay just a little bit or force the block. Oh, he's trying to anti-air so many of them, James.
All right, and now he's got the... Oh, actually, he back threw him. I was about to say, oh, because he wants the Aegis mix-up. Yeah, that's smart. Normally, most characters want to try to, like, throw you out there, but he wants to have that opportunity to mix you up there. Mid-screen.
Oh, sneaking in the dash, too. Dash up, throw.
Oh, that's not real, but here we go. Oh, he missed the tackle. Oh my God, the plot armor for Child too strong. The plot armor is there. He still has not gotten his first loss.
Looking like a Rocky Balboa montage, man. It's a comeback of the century.
All right.
Overhead. Oh no, he missed the continuation. He couldn't find the link.
Yes,
and now he tried it again.
A player will drop a combo and you feel lucky, you take it anyway, because how many times have you dropped your own combo and lost, right? It's karma. It all comes back around.
That is a perfectly spaced anti-air from Destructive. And he had V-Skill 2 ready. Oh no, counter hit City. Don't get thrown.
Look at this pressure in the corner. There it is. Destructive taking game number 1. You can see why all the players there, all the viewers, I should say, voting 71% for Destructive, and indeed has given Child his first loss of the tournament. And let's see if Child can bounce back from that one and see if he can come back and take 3 maybe in a row, or at least 3 of the next 5 games. At least 5 games? Yes, 5 games.
That is correct, yeah. Mayday, we might have ourselves a switch from the side of Child, but I highly doubt it. I feel like he's just going to use this time to reassess and calm down a little bit, because there was a couple of moments that we noticed, right? There were a few times where he was trying to play too solid for his own good, and I mean that in a great way, because he does have the reactions to anti-air. However, when it comes to the knee drop specifically against Urian, I've seen Brian F get hit by this a couple of times and misplace his spacing, and he's even lost tournaments to this. It's very hard to contest the knee drop within certain ranges because of the stature of Balrog.
Yeah. And remember how I talked about how I would go with KKB first, and, you know, there might be a good chance for V-Skill 2. Of course, V-Skill 2, charging up the dash punch, making it 2 hits, making it plus on block, making it so you can cancel into it without a charge, etc. So, like, I feel like maybe that he might try that out, maybe, because like I said, if you ever see Urian charge up his fireball, you charge up your thing, and then you have the opportunity to get in through the dash punch instead.
So we'll see what happens, right? If there is a change up with the V-Skill, it's going to be a pretty big deal for Destructive with the Urian play. Being able to, I guess, throw out the fireballs a little bit more and contest, that's going to be kind of interesting to see. So we'll see if Child actually even goes with any sort of V-set change.
All right, let's see. What has he got over here? What has he got? Find out.
I think that is... I think he changed the V-Skill. I think he might have.
Yeah. Oh, no, he changed the V-Trigger. He's at 1-1 now.
Both.
Yeah, he's at 1-1.
Oh, sorry. It wasn't both. My mistake.
Oh, yeah, no worries. It's all good. Okay. Ooh, just raw overhead in your face. No fear. And look at that. There's that stand medium kick you were talking about with those active frames in there. Able to get the anti-air on the knees.
Ooh. Checking the low from that far. I haven't seen that yet, actually. Very good call out there from Child.
Smart call.
Into the mirror. There's going to be a lot of damage. The meaty headbutt afterwards. Big tech. Don't press the button.
Oh, he's trying. And actually, the timings at which he hit the mirror were all awkward enough that that Destructive couldn't take advantage of it, but Destructive could still take this match entirely. Oh,
Yep,
no!
that's what I was looking for. Remember what we talked about earlier? Before this happened, he was too solid for his own good. It led to the double KO, trying to anti-air the double knee drop, which is great, absolutely great for Destructive, because you know he was at the deficit.
Yeah, exactly. That was definitely a win for Destructive, getting that double KO there. And again, trading on that. You see how much damage those double knees do. So it's just, oof, man. Yeah, that's a tough one for Child because he had a pretty decent life lead, even survived that Aegis, and then ended up the double KO. In case you guys don't know, as you can see at the top of the screen, both players get around that way off of a double KO.
Oh, very
so it's
wise.
Basically kind of like a wash situation. But here comes Child. This is why you go with V-Trigger 1. It's the raw damage output. And there you go. Child able to bounce back and tie it up 1-1 after that double KO.
He's punching like a man, James. He's punching like a full-grown adult. He needs to change his handle ASAP. No, but you're absolutely right. The significant change up from Trigger 2 to Trigger 1 is actually pretty nasty. Let's take a look at how this went down in the first round, right? Child too solid for his own good. Trying to anti-air something like that, that's tough, man.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But that's good. Child here able to continue that momentum from that first round. And here we go. Oh, the counter hit combo, nicely done. Tried to go for a shimmy, but committed to the follow-up, the cancel, which was punishable. And there, yep, beating the regular knee drop. And now you got to deal with the mirrors. Oh, God.
Oh, that was tough. No follow-up. He just let him drop. Huh.
Oh, that's going to be huge right there. Good damage off of that, but the wake-up EX by Destructive. Just wants to shake your hand,
shake his hand.
It's like,
I want to shake his hand. Oh, man, go straight for the legs. That's, you know, we rarely get to see that from Child, being able to check with the dash low, the dash punch low. He's only done that like a handful of times throughout the entirety of like both of his sets, right?
Yeah, and I will say, even though he's gotten hit by that knee, I'm still impressed by his reactions to try to challenge it every single time, and he's just not discouraged from it either. Look at that, even in a meaty situation, and there's that trade again. You can tell that the way that Child is going after that knee drop is reaction to him going up into the air. He's not reading whether it's an EX or a regular, so he's always going for it every time, and that's kind of good for Destructive because then he can throw out the EX1, hope for the trade, because even on the trade he gets reset to his feet, and Balrog gets knocked down, so he does get a little bit of pressure in that situation.
And that was great defense there from Destructive, being able to sniff out when the overhead is coming. A lot of plus frames, but at the expense of 2 bars. Child did not get a single opening off of spending it. It was really expensive, but back to the mid-screen here. Destructive, where he's in favor, but he doesn't get the V-Skill 2 charged off, so that's good for Child at least.
Ooh. Just blocked just in time. And there's those limbs that we were talking about. Standing medium kick, coral kick, but there's that KKB we were talking about getting through the fireball. Ooh, yeah, and now the low actually goes for the converter. Misses the overhead, was expecting a quick rise, not the back roll, but can he get the stun? He doesn't even need the stun. He gets the kill. Child going up 2-0 versus Destructive. And you, like I said, you see the difference now. Now, obviously, V-Trigger 2 has a lot of its uses, but V-Trigger 1 is there for its pure, raw, destructive power. And like you said, the way Balrog hits the screen, like as soon as he came out, off of that V-Trigger, the way they shook the screen on every punch, it was so good. Such a nice effect.
Yeah, that's been a really huge game changer, honestly, for Child. Being able to get the potential mix-up off of it, the damage output as well to get himself started. It's been what's pretty much getting him all these W's, right? 2-1 against Destructive, but that was 2 rounds straight from that last game. So, again, now Destructive needs to make the adaptations.
Yeah, well, he's got the corner position here. Oh, no, that headbutt was a great idea to anti-air, but accidentally missed it, and so they swapped sides, which means Child's out of there. But look at this. Destructive with huge damage now.
Yeah, I wonder if he could have gone for a different, like a more conventional anti-air, like crouching heavy punch, but even that, like maybe back roundhouse.
Yeah, and you saw right there, Child went for the shimmy. He got the throw whip, but he wasn't expecting that throw whip to come as fast as it did. Oh! Look at this damage. He's in there. He goes for the low. Okay, goes for the reset into the throw. That was so smart. Chases down the V-shift. Gets the stun. Child 2-3-3 with the comeback. Let me give you the 4-1-1 on this guy right here. He is going in with the damage. Woo.
I don't know, man. Someone's about to call 911 the way the Child's been abusing Destructive right now. Oh my goodness. He's just destroying him.
Man, what a great comeback round for Child. Now, if you're Destructive, this is where the nerves start kicking in. You're like, well, I got this round pretty sure, and then all of a sudden it all falls apart. That can happen for sure. Ooh,
Oh,
from
when in doubt, tackle it out. Why not?
Ooh, waking up with buttons, not scared. Here we go, charges up that fireball.
Oh, the KKB! Destructive has had such a positive rate of blocking it. I take it all back. Destructive, he still has plenty more rounds to play, and he's here to show it. Again, the block on the KKB, I feel like he's blocked so many of them raw, right? Outside of that mix-up from the dash punches from V-Trigger 1, that I don't know if Child's picked up to that.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing is like it hasn't discouraged Child from doing it either. That either he just has that much faith in it, or like you said, maybe he just hasn't noticed. Okay,
Could be a mix
Destructive.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh boy. The throw will do it.
No comebacks for you this time, says Destructive. And there you go, Destructive now tying it up 2-2. So we are going to the final game of this set, which is perfect because this has been an amazing set so far, and we get to see these two continue to duke it out to find out who gets into winners finals here. And that guarantees you top 30, and that guarantees you, part of that nice chunk of prize money there. I believe it was $350 for first, $250 for second. So, good money here for these players.
A nice 200, I should say. I think it's 2-2 right now. All twos on board, but Child 2-3-3 does have a slight life with the KKB raw to check the V-skill activation. That was good. And I think it's really well thought out by Child because if you don't have the dash punch, like if you're moving forward, you could use the KKB to kind of treat it like a mini dash punch, right? And that stopped out the V-skill. That was very smart.
Well, no challenge on the knees that time. Was just not in the range. Was afraid it was going to miss. Ooh, challenging and then gets the crouching medium kick into the mirrors. What's the mix-up here? Hasn't thrown out the second mirror yet.
Not quite. There it is. Yeah, in front to kind of intimidate. He's trying to get big on him, James. You see him put his arms out. He's like, yeah. Like he's trying to intimidate him. Don't do that against a bear, though. But, keeps him in the corner, keeps him locked down. Child not able to press the button because the mirror is so much closer, right?
Ooh, the crush, and again, Urien gets so much off of that charge heavy punch crush because he gets to dash up and keep the combos going here. Child now, after that amazing comeback, Destructive definitely did not let it get to him. And here comes Child, nice. Wake up EX headbutt, the invincibility to go through the media attacks.
Good interruption there to not let Child get anything started off that KKB mix-up. Destructive with a throw bait. Ugh. Don't get thrown. This is, oh my God. He tried to bait out the throw with the headbutt. And here comes Child. He knew all about it.
Not
the
like
roll
this.
is there. One more mix-up, actually. You do get critical art.
Oh.
That's it. Oh no. James,
No.
not like this.
He thought he was gonna get the stun off of that low rush. It was just shy by pixels, and those pixels are enough to keep Destructive alive. Destructive is going to take it with the crouching light kick on the walking backwards from Child, and that one is going to hurt because that comeback was about to happen. He had all the right reads, the shimmy, but again, that low rush just didn't do enough damage.
James, he could have done what? Crouching. He hit him with the crouching heavy punch, right? For the whiff punish, right? He could have done crouching heavy punch, EX screw upper if he wanted to, EX dash punch. It would have saved him a lot. Actually, I don't even think he would need the follow up because that would have stunned.
Yeah, if he had gotten that EX screw upper into anything, really, he would have gotten the stun guaranteed. He just really, I guess, believed in the low rush to get the stun, and
Yeah.
oh god, that's
what
a
happens,
heartbreaker
man.
one.
Like, you saved your meter, but for what? Like, you could have used it on anything, really. You could have done, like, crouching heavy punch, because you were backing up, right? Let me see this. Oh. But anyways, I was going to say, crouching heavy punch to even maybe, like, an EX dash punch, right? Oh, that's such a heartbreaker, man. You see how much more Child has done, how much more activity in terms of KKBs and trying to keep the mix-ups going. He was on a tirade, right? He was up 2-1 against Destructive, and then you see Destructive with a solid defense. All of this entire sequence coming from a blocked KKB and just interrupting it, right? Just knowing full well when Child was going to pull out that V skill.
Yeah, when you get in those situations, a lot of times you try to second guess on like, oh, is this gonna stun or not? Is this gonna stun? You know, sometimes you just, I mean, look at this, watch this right here. The shimmy, yeah, he had, look at that. He could have even shimmied into super, but I think he wanted to save his meter for the next round, but you gotta make sure. You gotta make sure.
You don't do it like that. You had it. It was in the palm of your hands. All you had to do is spend that bar, and it would have gotten it. That's a great way to start the next round. Honestly, you have 2 bars. That's not bad at all. You get to abuse at least 2 EX dash punches to close the gap, keep you at plus. But holding on to all 3, a little questionable, but it is what it is, man. Destructive is going to be moving on. Everybody in the chat was right. 71% of you, I should say. Not everyone. Excuse me. 71%
Clearly,
of the
I
chat
guess,
was right.
I mean, very, very close match, but oh man, that one's a rough one. That one is one of the ones that you're going to think about. But again, the trick of fighting games is you got to shake these things off, right? Child's still in this tournament. He's in the lower half of the bracket now. He's got to shake it off. But we're going to the other side of the upper half bracket to find out who else is going to the winner's side. As you can see, it's going to be Deznere and YaNoob. YaNoob, perhaps, I mean, like I said, we know YaNoob. We know his history of what he's done. But ElChakotay, obviously strong player. We see him in NLBC all the time, right? And went down to YaNoob's Menat. So maybe you can call that an upset. And he's going to be the one going up against Deznere's Zeku. Oh, look at this. 80% in favor of YaNoob from the polls here. Okay.
That's pretty confident. That's a lot of confidence. And the way that YaNoob kind of showed out against Chakotay, I could totally understand it, right? Even in the current environment, he's still able to get all of the Menat combos down, still play it down to a T and play the strategy that Menat wants to play. And I got to say, more impressive than his offense is his defense getting out of certain dire situations, right? He hasn't been caught too much suffering repercussions in the corner. Like, sure, like Menat doesn't have the best recovery tools. She doesn't have anything that's kind of like gonna help her on wake up. She does have a drill to kind of get herself out of danger or whatever, and she has a pretty decent V reversal, I should say. But it's still very punishable, right? So I will say YaNoob's defense is what's really helping him out as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those characters out there, that's the difference, right? If you're a Menat player, if you're a G player, if you're a Dhalsim player, it's really about being able to survive the defensive situations. And again, Street Fighter V is one of those games where when you get knocked down, I mean, we saw it from that Child Destructive match. You saw how fast the round can turn around. And so being able to stay calm on the defensive end is absolutely one of the most important skills to have in this game. The worst thing you can do on defense is panic and start hitting buttons.
Oh boy. All right, so into it already. Big stun, big sweep punish. And I like that. The combo ability into V skill 2 now. Again, they've had some pretty decent buffs with both the V skills from the side of Menat being able to net her some more damage in Oki situations.
Oof. Nice use of that V trigger to get in there and get some damage. Ooh, wait, that was a cross up, but not a cross up? I don't know what happened there, but I think Deznere should be able to take this. Yeah, there you go. Gets the kill
cross
combo.
Up,
good,
but no cross up. That's cheating. That's cheating, James.
I mean, that's already kind of an awkward cross-up button as it is. Zeku has some weird cross-up buttons. And, but he can also cross up off that Bushin flip as well. Now back to young Zeku. Again, a punish off of that slide. He's going for those slides, and that's why you see him also using that V-skill too, using Sakamoto to be able to get in there like that is definitely a very useful tool to have, especially against a character like Menat.
Ooh! Why was that so far off the jump in the corner or off the wall? I can't believe that actually hit.
Yeah, unfortunately, a V-trigger activation, he just got tossed after activating it. Oh, yeah, that orb's still active. All right. How much is YaNoob going to spend here to get this? We saw in that situation with Child, spend everything that you got. No, he goes for the reset instead. Look at him just walking in his face.
Yeah, he couldn't really spend any of the EX sources to solidify the kill. Like, even if you use both bars, right?
Yeah.
Because there's just too much scaling involved due to the combo nature of Menat. But again, he had to go for that reset. That was the better choice. Oh boy. This isn't bad, getting a sweet punish, spending one bar. He could have gone to like a full punish into critical art, but he's very conservative about it right now. He's trying to be risk averse.
Nice, look at that. Finding the opportunity just to run up and throw. It takes a while to do that, so that was a good call out from him that she was going to be doing something like orb recall. And here comes YaNoob getting the pressure. Beautiful meaty drill timing.
The meaty drill.
Yeah, the air-to-air challenge. I love it. I love that. But here we go, orbless. And now you are vulnerable. And goes for the reset, the standing reset.
She better make that collect call quick. Nope, not gonna get the orb at all. Didn't see this in her near future. Oh no!
Oh, not like this.
Oh, the orb barely missed.
Actually, he spent the 2 middle orbs. Interesting. I thought he spent the air orbs. Can he make this comeback? Because chip is going to be a factor if he can get some extra damage. He doesn't need the chip. He just goes for the throw. YaNoob off of the drop combo from Deznere. Oh, man.
It's so crazy because he covered both options, right? He covered the throw bait just in case with the lower orb, and it forced the block. So once he saw that Deznere was willing to just sit it out, then he went in for the throw. You saw the little sneaky orb come in and force the block afterwards. So if Deznere had pressed like a counter hit button, or sorry, if he tried to counter poke with like a jab or any light button, or if he tried to throw, he would have got punished for it and still within range for the critical art finisher. So YaNoob covering all bases with the orb. So smart, so intricate.
That's why it looks so cool, because you just see Menat's just walking at you. She doesn't move her arms or anything, and an orb is coming to attack. That's why it's such a nice little mix-up. It's a visual mix-up right there. Oh, gets the cross-up again.
It's so hard to tell when the orbs get released and when it's coming out, right? So it's very smart for YaNoob to take full advantage of that. And now
activation.
Gets the stun. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Don't let him have it for free. And that is great. It was right before YaNoob got all of the trigger off.
Yeah, no combo drops this time. All right. YaNoob still up 1-0 at this point. YaNoob, this is to get into winners finals to guarantee top 3 position. Oh, that Bushin flip into the cross-up elbow has been doing a lot of good work for Deznere, but here we go, back throw into the corner. This is pressure. Menat's not necessarily going to get you a ton of pressure here, but having all that space to move backwards if need be for Menat is really powerful, really good for zoning kind of characters. Oh no!
Yeah, tried to get the juggle off of Sakamoto with the uppercut, but just a little bit too far off the mark, and YaNoob pretty much doesn't have to spend a lot. Did have the meter for it to spend the EX orb, and that was just more than enough, I feel like. So now YaNoob, being at the deficit when it comes to the resources, I think he'll be just fine. Deznere rushing him down. I take it all back, James. He might get stunned very soon.
Oh, there it is, the shimmy into the throw. Here we go. Big damage here, 2 bars he has available. There's 1, there's 2, still not enough to kill. That's gonna do it. So you see, Menat has one benefit. She has a 3-frame button. However, that 3-frame button has no range at all. And you saw Zeku, when he did the palm strike, Zeku kind of leans back a little and then goes in there. And you saw that just cause Manat standing light kick completely whiffed, and he just got punished at the tail end of that.
Very smart pressure there from Deznere. I would say if you can't find an opening for a critical art, try to use all the meter as you can to close the gap and get your game plan going. It's exactly what Deznere did. Kept it nice and tight as well.
All right. Again, using... Oh, no. Just wasn't expecting the orb coming back to catch him, which it did. Now back to throwing out the bombs here. Oh, I think that was an anti-air attempt from YaNoob. Just too late. So he's eating the jump attack. Raw goes for the meaty button. The stun, the back throw for the most meter possible. And Deznere looking very strong here now. This is what you want to see from Deznere, right? Once he gets the offense going as young Zeku against Manat, stay in there, keep the pressure going.
I'm liking this. The V-skill and the block string afterwards to recall the orb. It's still pretty close. Oh, the anti-air is there. Yeah, for the Bushin flip. Nice work there from YaNoob. Still playing the long-range game in the orb. I really like Deznere's patience and him picking and choosing his spots when to put out the Grand.
Just goes for the sweep combo. No overheads. There we go. Nope, still no overheads. Just straight meaties. And I like that. Just very patient offense, right? A lot of people like to go for Hail Marys and go for that mix-up. But YaNoob playing it very solid, very fundamental. You see the active frames on that Graham right there?
Wee. Super active.
Anti-air missing in that situation. Good block on the overhead. Misses the punish.
No. Yeah, there was definitely a slight error there from YaNoob. After blocking the overhead, he was going to go into a full punish into trigger, but it came out as just raw trigger. And you know what happens, man? There's recovery on that. You are vulnerable to a punish while busting out the trigger in front of somebody like that.
Yeah, so unfortunately for YaNoob, with that drop right there, opportunity to get out of that situation is going to go down 1-2. Deznere just on the verge of making it to winners finals. Just needs to take one more game over YaNoob. Can he do this?
And again, really picking and choosing his spots when to close the gap. And also using the power of friendship, using the eagle to come on in there as well. And Sakamoto, man, king of the jungle.
I mean, maybe he considers them family, right? You know.
And nothing, we already know, nothing is more powerful than family.
Yeah. All right, well, look at this. And the pressure from YaNoob. You know, I mentioned that Manat's not exactly a rushdown character. With YaNoob doing a good job there. Stays in the front on the reset. Gets the stun.
James, that is a dirty birdie. You thought the Bushin flip was going to either go for the cross-up or the grab? That's kind of scary. Actually, no. Look, I think YaNoob might have thought it was the cross-up because he just wasn't blocking.
Deznere has gone for the cross-up almost every single time. I think that was the first time he stayed in the front. And that's why. So when you block the cross-up, you know, you're plus. You're in, and that's a win versus Manat. So why try to go for the mix-up early on? Why not just keep going for the cross-up? Convince the opponent that that's all you're ever going to go for so you can save the stay in front for the win.
We call that the saving it for nationals.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is.
Finding its way in.
Yeah, and he's been punished for that a ton of times too. Oh, the punish there! Oh, no, that was a counter hit.
The reset.
Oh my God!
So smart. How much damage can he do? Is he gonna critical art? Yes, he wants the win.
He's gonna have to.
I like this decision. Yeah, it's a lot of resources to spend, but it's guaranteed. Anything else he did probably would not have killed, and he would need one more mix-up. Probably would have ended up chipping him out with the super anyway, so spend it now, guaranteed. Take that round win. Keep yourself alive, guaranteed.
He tried to recall, but just got stuffed by the crouching medium punch there from Deznere, summoning a couple of more animals, and I like this. Like, if you can't pretty much contest with Graham, using V-Scale 2 is more than enough to keep YaNoob in check, right? Not being able to throw out the orbs freely, but here we go now. YaNoob back to the game plan. Get out of there. Deznere closing the gap. Activation off into the trigger. Roundhouse to check YaNoob. Here comes the orb. Oh, no!
Yeah. Orb on the way back. Gonna connect. If she's blocking, it doesn't deactivate the orb. That happens to a lot of other characters, but not for Menat. Oh, I like her jumping in, trying to be aggressive when defense is generally the best option. Here we go. Needs one more hit. The drill
That is
at
sneaky.
Yeah, that's one of those alternate shimmies. Again, as I've explained before in other streams, the shimmy isn't even necessarily the act of seeing the guy next to you or whatever. It's really just that weird delay. Like, I haven't blocked anything. That means he must be going for a throw. Like, that's why we get caught by, you know, Ibuki overheads, walk backwards, neutral jumps, or even the no shimmy shimmy of standing still. It's just that timing, that weird space where you haven't blocked anything, so you just feel like they're trying to throw you.
Oh, that was kind of funky from YaNoob, right? Going for the soul explosion with the sphere from behind him. I feel like he would go for like the recall, but.
Oh, the bomb. Bomb caught her out of the air. Giving Deznere this opportunity. Gets the jump in on standing heavy punch.
Oh, that's just a big opportunity from Deznere. Kind of didn't make too much out of it, honestly. YaNoob survives.
Here we go.
And now,
caught him low. And now the V-trigger activation. You got to deal with the mix-up. A nice challenge by Deznere. Going to activate his own. He can teleport in there. Good patience from YaNoob. Waiting. Oh, he got the hit. I think
there's going to be a reset.
YaNoob was surprised by that. Oh, no, he didn't confirm the standing heavy punch. Got him. Oh, no, that orb didn't even combo off the drill, I don't think. But it doesn't matter. YaNoob is going to take that round, and he's at match point.
I was surprised. I was looking at YaNoob's orbs left. He had the top two, right? I was thinking to myself, when is he going to let it rip? There was a moment there where Deznere actually jumped. I think he could have, at least if he was holding it down, he could have let go of the two orbs to anti-air and then critical air, but still, luckily for YaNoob, manages to take the first round. If he negative edged it, he would have got the jump out.
Oh, there you go. There's that orb returning. That orb recall has caused Deznere a lot of problems. He's really just kind of hoping that he hits Menat. Here comes again, and there he goes. Trades out of the air with the Bushin flip. That is a hitbox for Menat right there. And look at this, YaNoob again being aggressive, actually playing the rush down here. Uh-oh, corner side switch. You're in the corner now. Switch to Young. Try to apply that pressure.
Cool. Oh,
he
no,
snuck
he
in.
caught him on the throw out. The orb's thrown out, but look at the damage you're taking. For a slight opening, Deznere is going to take it all the way right now. So much pressure, trigger. There's the stun. There's a lot of scaling involved. Oh, the damage throw. Oh,
well, that's going to give her the opportunity. She missed the button again. Oh, yeah. Actually, Deznere also had a slide earlier that I think YaNoob could have punished. I think YaNoob was expecting maybe a V-trigger cancel, but Deznere did not have the V-trigger ready to go, I don't think.
Interesting. I gotta take a look at that moment again, but Deznere taking full advantage of YaNoob in the corner, but now it's a whole different story. YaNoob rushing down yet again, trying to stay active. Anti-air is there. There's the recall. Okay. Deznere sort of out to safety, but look at how much life he's taken in that whole entire segment.
Here comes the orb again. Gonna catch him out of the air. Nice. Goes for the juggle.
And the side switch. Ooh.
Gets the hit on the frame trap. Big damage, doesn't need to worry about the stun, just the throw for the kill. YaNoob coming back and taking this 3-2 to get to the top 3 guaranteed by getting himself into winners finals. YaNoob backing up that win versus ElChakotay by taking it here over Deznere. Wow.
super impressive. Just the patience, the amount of patience and the awareness too. We've seen both sides of YaNoob now. We prefaced this match by saying how great YaNoob was on defense, but we saw the offensive version of YaNoob, the fact that he has that in his back pocket, the fact that he knows how to turn on the offense, showing his true West Coast Southern California pride in rushing that stuff down.
Shoutouts to Alex Valle. He was always the aggressive player. Really kind of bred a culture of the rush down here on the on the Southern California scene on the West Coast. It's always really cool to see how the top players of it. Oh yeah, you see that miss right there. But it's really cool to see how often the top players of a region affect the strategy and the playstyle of that region. You know, one of the reasons why East Coast was known for its defensive turtle style is because of one Eddie Lee. Like, if you guys don't know about Eddie Lee, he was basically East Coast Justin Wong before Justin. In fact, he is basically Justin Wong's mentor. There would be no Justin Wong without Eddie Lee. Oh yeah, here's this situation.
I want to take
here.
a statement on that. I want to hear that. That'd be sick.
We see the slide here, I think. We're going to see the slide here. See right there.
Yeah.
He could have punished him.
The thing is, it's a frame trap if he ends up going with the trigger, right? So it's kind of a mind game. It's like, do you dare press a button after the slide? Because it was active. You could have gone into the slide and get into a full combo and possibly kill YaNoob in that entire thing. So that's one of the mind games with Zeku, young Zeku, while in trigger, is that you don't want to get got pressing a button if you end up
see, that's the thing
running the
is,
V-trigger rock.
I mean, I'd have to check the replay again. I forgot to look. I can't remember if he actually had the trigger available to him.
It was active. It was active. Yeah.
Absolutely, YaNoob should not hit a button in that situation at all. Regardless, YaNoob advanced forward, and he is going to be going up against Destructive in the winners finals. You can see over there. ElChakotay on the lower half of the bracket has defeated Child 3-2. So now Child is out of the tournament despite that amazing start, going 12-0 to start this whole entire thing. ElChakotay working his way up to the losers semifinals. We've got another match in the lower bracket to find out who ElChakotay is going to be going up against. But we do have our winners finals bracket ready to go, and that is going to be Destructive versus YaNoob.
And just to kind of remind you guys, if you guys want to sign up as well for some of these open qualifiers down the line for Street Fighter V or any of the other games, any of the other fighting games that we've had, compete.playstation.com is the place to go to check out all the info and check out all the competition as well. We would love to broadcast your match in a top 8. That would be pretty sick to see your name up there and get yourself a good amount of cash. We've seen guys like YaNoob really throw it down and really make that comeback back into the winners finals with Minot. Again, all thanks to Rose, right? If it wasn't for Rose, Minot wouldn't even exist. In fact, we do have a very, very special trailer showing some of the new characters that have been pumped out for this season of Street Fighter V, with plenty more to come, by the way. But we're going to take a quick break and go back into all the action here for EVO warm-ups. Check out this Rose trailer.
You shouldn't only admire my work, but also concentrate a little more on your lessons, Minot. Receive. Let the spirit guide you. destiny. Soul powers nature. You should try to learn to use your power a little better. My crystal ball says patience is a virtue that is handsomely rewarded. Rose has returned to Street Fighter V on PlayStation 4.
PlayStation.
Try out 40 characters from seasons 1 through 4 of Street Fighter V for free. Download the Street Fighter V Champion Edition free trial now, available only on the PlayStation 4. And if you like what you play, the original Street Fighter V Champion Edition and the upgrade kit are also currently on sale as a part of the PS4 mid-year deals sale. Purchase Season 5 Pass now. Available for purchase.
And we're continuing on with the North American region here for the EVO warm-up finals for Street Fighter V. Vicious back at it again with none other than my commentary dad, James Chen. What's going on, man?
What's going on? we are nearing the end of this. We are basically down to the top 4 players at this point in time. We've gotten to the winners finals, which is going to be Destructive and YaNoob. Now on the on the lower half of the bracket over here, we're still trying to figure out exactly who's going to fill that out over there. ElChakotay is waiting for the winner between Deznere and dreaddragon. We just saw Deznere go down to YaNoob, and that is what set up YaNoob and Destructive on the winners finals. And so that's the match that we're going to be seeing next here on this stream.
And so Destructive versus YaNoob, right? Destructive has done a pretty solid job with that Urian play, going up against Child, right? To be quite honest, it could have gone either way because Child did miss a very significant finish, right? There was a certain route he took outside of not punishing appropriately. He went for a crouch heavy punch into the dash lower, right? And that was just not enough to get the stun. He thought he had it, but it was just a pixel. Literally, I kid you not, if you guys could check out the VODs, literally a pixel away from actually taking it down. It could have been Child versus YaNoob, but as it stands right now, Destructive, that's just part of the game. If he wins, he wins, right? And now it's up to you guys to decide who do you think will win, Destructive or YaNoob. YaNoob, on the other hand, has been doing work, right? He came from a deficit against Deznere and took it all the way back as well.
Yeah, and again, you know, if you're YaNoob and you're a Monat player, you might actually be happy with the way that match went down, because Boxer, Balrog, could definitely be a pain for Monat players. Remember I was talking about how Justin said that he wouldn't throw orbs against certain characters. Boxer was one of them, because once they get you locked down, it's like, it's frightening. We saw what Child was able to do with Boxer, but Destructive, you know, is the one that went forward with Urian. I don't necessarily think that this is a better matchup for Monat, but you know, obviously it's not Boxer, who I know a lot of Monat players really hate going up against.
Yeah, you're not going to have a character that's going to be able to tap his way past like any sort of orb throw, so that's going to be pretty significant, right? I'm thinking about YaNoob throwing out some of these orbs that apply pressure from further out against Destructive, trying to maintain a charge or something, or maybe like sneaking like an EX tackle in certain situations, right? Not just like phase 1 of the game, but Urian players want to retain their charge, right? They want to do it for like a headbutt or an EX tackle to get in, but with orb out there, or at least throwing it out there, that's going to force, it's a very long-standing projectile, then it stays stationary, right? So YaNoob does have the option to kind of blow up Urian players for trying to do something sneaky while having that orb out there. So we'll see how it plays out. One of the biggest things I'm looking forward to is how Destructive is going to navigate around the orbs.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be the key. Is Destructive going to try to play a little bit of the zoning game, or is he going to try to get in with some knees, with some chariot tackles? Again, like I said, Monat does have a 3-frame button in that standing light kick, but boy, does it have no range. And so there's a lot of distances that he's going to be able to chariot tackle or drop some knees, where Monat might not be able to force her turn on Urian. So let's see how this is going to play out. It looks like it is going to be V skill 1 and V trigger 1 for both players.
I'm liking this already. So we'll see how it plays out. YaNoob, I want to see what's going to happen right out the gate, and Destructive already going for the fireball. I like that. Is perfect. That's exactly how you need to play it, right? Get the fireball off, and as soon as the orb is behind you, just dash in there. Yeah, that was perfect timing for Destructive.
And yeah, once you get that hit, that orb no longer does anything, or you can throw like Destructive did and use the invincibility during the throw animation. Back to YaNoob, zoning as much as possible. Nice, using that V skill 1. Oh, caught him with the crouching light kick and almost had the combo confirmed. And look at this, just like that, YaNoob now with the life lead. And I think Destructive missed the knee drop. I think he thought he had the charge, but you saw just kind of like the little jumping light kick there.
Oh, the recall? Oh, I thought it was going to punish the recall, but it wasn't in time. Yeah, it wasn't even within range, to be honest.
It was actually too far.
Right.
It just went right past her. There you go, building the shield. Yep, there's, like I said, there's that chariot attack. Oh, nice.
You can punish that. Yeah, you could, if you negative edge it, or actually, you could still press a button. I like this from YaNoob. Like, even if you're blocking the knee drop, you're still able to get an orb out. But either way, YaNoob with the awareness, this is going to be kind of tough for Destructive once that trigger is out.
Yeah, and that was nice too. He caught Destructive walking backwards. He walked at Destructive a little bit, then all of a sudden just snuck out that low attack, caught him walking backwards, able to link into the orb. Great control over the character. If people don't know, like, you have to hold, those 6 orbs are controlled by the 6 buttons you have, and when you let go of the button, that triggers one of the specific orbs. So in order to trigger some of those orbs in the right time, you have to have that button held down ahead of time.
Absolutely right. And again, YaNoob making great work at that V-skill, by the way, to nullify the fireballs too. All block on the overhead, he's not going to V-reversal out. You see Destructive thinking the V-reversal was coming? He backed off specifically for that read.
And that EX headbutt was made safe because it bounced. What an escape
That
using the
was
soul
so
throw.
sick. That was so sick. Oh my God.
Dude, and then
He's
he
no
went for
longer
the,
YaNoob. He is your pro. He is your boy.
dude, he went for the V skill off of the fireball, off of the metallic sphere. He got hit because he missed the timing on it, and Destructive thought as soon as he saw him got hit, okay, that's my time to go in. The thing about it was YaNoob had already released 2 orbs going across the screen from the V-trigger, so he saw him not get hit. He's like, time for me to go in, and then those 2 orbs just caught him by surprise out of nowhere. Man.
It was all a
That
ploy,
was-
James. It was all a ploy, right? He intentionally mistimed the V-skill to get hit,
Right,
and he's like,
right.
ha-ha, boom, here comes the orbs. I like that. It was like, you know, you fake getting hit, and then you have like the little shine on the eyes, little anime form, just like, hey. That's what I wanted you to think. That was pretty good.
Oh, man.
Very excellent
All right.
showing there from YaNoob. Good awareness and just overall good control. I got to say, he didn't take any unnecessary risk. And you could kind of see that too with Deznere when Deznere let that mirror out. In that last sequence, right, with the Aegis Reflector, you would think that YaNoob wanted to go for a V-reversal, and that's exactly what Destructive thought as well. Destructive backed away. He backdashed just in anticipation of YaNoob's V-reversal, but he just stood his ground. He's like, I'm willing to play defense against your Aegis Reflector. There hasn't been a single overhead or even target combo overhead that you've hit me with, so I'm not even going to fear that. You can toe tap me all you want. I still have the reactions to block overhead.
Right. So YaNoob looking really strong right now. Curious to see right now if we went back to the lobbies maybe for a V-trigger, V-skill change, or even a character change or something. I'm wondering what he feels like might be able to help him again. He was at 1-1, but look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, the
Now-
Zeku pick.
This is an interesting choice because YaNoob just beat Deznere. What you're saying about this is that my Zeku is better than Deznere's Zeku.
Well, that's not necessarily true because he has to get a W on the board and he has to actually beat YaNoob first to make that statement.
True, true. I'm just trying to instigate things here, that's all.
That's fair.
Oh,
I would have
jumps
jumped
in.
that ship with you. Oh,
Wow, I can't believe that hit. That missed so many times against Deznere. Very
dashing
fortunate.
twice over the tech. Very important here. And now he tried to get a block string going with the recall. It just wasn't plus enough because he went for the slide option.
I think the slide might have even actually hit after the orb, which will override the block stun, unfortunately.
True. Very true. That's exactly what happened.
And there you go, dropping the bomb as a way to work yourself in there. You can see, interestingly enough, the way Destructive is playing young Zeku, definitely a lot more defensive. He got the hit, but he couldn't keep the combo going. All right, and stand block.
Oh,
Stand
that's
blocking
fine.
that heavy kick. That's really important when he's in young Zeku and he throws that heavy kick. If you're crouching, it's plus or safe at least. I think it's what, 0 or I can't remember the exact frame data, but when you're standing, then it's minus. And so YaNoob blocking that standing actually allowed him to take his turn.
Right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think it's when you're crouching, he's at 0. He's even. It's because it hits at the tail end of the actual hit.
Right, exactly. I'm just trying to look up the exact numbers for you guys here.
It's like 0 and then -2, right?
I think so.
think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it should be. Caboose flip incoming. The punish is there. Even if he gets hit, YaNoob is absolutely ready for it. We're going to see another reset incoming. Yeah, there it is. Oh, nice V-shift there from Destructive. Doesn't want any part of the orbs, but the orbs are still coming. The throw bait is there from YaNoob.
No.
Oh, boy.
But a combo drop, and there is the downside to being a Monot player is that, you know, like I said, releasing those orbs, it's not like when you buffer medium punch into a DP. Like, you just do the DP and it'll come out on the first frame that it can. It's all kind of nicely timed for you. Releasing those orbs is a lot of manual timing, and as a result, there's a lot of opportunity for you to drop those combos.
Very true.
Oh, there you go. Deznere, the Zeku expert in the chat, confirms it is zeros on most characters against crouching characters. So there you go. Thank you. +5 on hit as well.
So wait, it's not like 0 all across the board on a crouching character? That's interesting.
I guess. So apparently on some characters it's a -1, -2. I thought it was based off of active frames not being able to hit, you know, standing characters.
I thought the same way. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was the same way. How interesting.
Oh, checks the dash. And then actually that last hit, was that part of the combo? I think you missed that last hit, but it worked. I'm not sure.
I didn't see the combo count continue, so you might be right, honestly.
Yeah, so there you go. Taking that first game over YaNoob. And maybe this is kind of the strategy as well, right? You just fought Deznere. Deznere obviously playing a very different style than how Destructive is playing it, and so maybe you kind of have the feeling he's going to do the similar things to Deznere. You're gearing your strategy based off of that, and maybe throwing you for a little bit of a loop here. But it is 1-1 now between the players, and the character change is working out.
I get that you're kind of like gearing towards getting that W with Zeku and trying to figure out what Deznere was doing prior, and kind of like, you know, using those strategies and making it your own, really. But you got to feel a little guilty after that, right? It's like, yeah, I saw you play as Zeku earlier. I'm gonna see if I can do it better.
Right. Well, Deznere was really close fighting YaNoob, so you know it's hard to do better than Deznere did. Let's put it that way.
I mean, there is a chance. There is a chance right now. It forced YaNoob to actually go back into the lobby. We're going to reassess the situation here with YaNoob. I'm thinking to myself, would V-Skill 2 be a little bit better, being able to combo into it, get Oki, as well as build that V-Gauge more consistently or more often than not? I wasn't too aware. Again, I can't remember if YaNoob picked V-Skill 1 in that matchup. I think for sure V-Skill 2 would be a little bit more beneficial. Actually, no, we did see that V-Skill 1 earlier. There was a sequence where he actually got an opening and was too far for the V-Skill to connect for a combo. So I think V-Skill 2 might be the changeup for YaNoob.
Yeah, probably. Definitely has a little bit more utility. Don't have to, you know, against Urien, having V-Skill 1 to be able to deflect fireballs, for example, is a nice thing to have to try to win the zoning game versus Urien. But against Zeku, you're not going to get that kind of a situation. It would be just for combos and such. And in that situation, why not go for the, you know, the orb, basically the what do you want to call it? The dashing orb? Orb dash?
For which?
Orb charge?
Orb charge? Probably.
Because we used to always call Rose's move the shawl charge, right? And so I guess we'd have to call this one the orb charge, you know, just to kind of go with the same thematic naming scheme.
I'm calling it V-Skill 2.
Fine. Oh, man. We don't use real names for moves here. We use all the nicknames.
And that's what confused me growing up. Come on, guys. That was your fault. I'm just kidding.
Oh, nice.
See, look what happens if the orb is out and she does the drill. What is it called then?
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, here comes Sakamoto kicking her in the face. I like the timing of it. It was perfect.
Pressure in old Zeku pressure as well. Nice, ooh. Yeah. Just using V-Skill 2 to challenge, and like you said, having the ability to recall the orb off of that is really nice. Good combo here. Pushes him back, but actually goes right back in. Here we go. You're taking a lot of block here. You're gonna get down to no health. Tried to go for the mix-up, but didn't release the orb in the air. Missed that somehow, but no punish from Destructive.
He was supposed to release one of the orbs before the soul throw so that it moves at the same time she does and it creates the ambiguous cross-up. But YaNoob ended up just releasing it at an awkward timing where he just missed completely. Luckily for him, he still maintained the round, so that's a huge thing he needs to fix up if he wants to try to take over the entire set.
Yeah, but one of the most impressive things about the way YaNoob has been playing, you know, we know Manada's a zoning character. We know she wants to keep you out, but YaNoob has had some really good pressure as well, which has been the most impressive thing for me. He's doing a good job switching because, you know, your opponent can eventually learn your rhythm on defense to find their way in. But if you switch it up between defense and offense, it's harder for them to get a hold of your rhythm and find where the gaps are in your zoning.
Oh, I like that. He caught destructive moving forward. Not going to be enough. Don't get hit by the medium punch. We knew it. It was coming out. I have to check on the low to see if there was going to be a movement option. Stand medium punch was the perfect call out immediately after because of the range it has.
Right, and one of the underrated things about that is that was the EX upper as well. When you throw the regular upper, it goes all the way across the screen. But he threw out the EX one, so it didn't move that far. And when he got the orb explosion, it was close enough to catch destructive. So just really good decision making by YaNoob. Oh gosh, 2 jump-ins now.
I like the contest now from Destructive, keeping it more compact. There's the anti-air. That's what I'm talking about. Keep YaNoob contained in this corner. No.
Oof. Oh, a trade, but that works out in favor of YaNoob. He's gonna go for a reset? Yeah, just goes for the throw. He's still got 4 orbs waiting for him over there to be used. Here comes 2 of them.
That was so sneaky too. Did you see the lower orb come in after she jumped so that you can't tell where it's gonna be? This guy is sneaky.
Oh!
This man's a cheater.
YaNoob is now 1 round away from getting into grand finals. Can Destructive do this? YaNoob here with a good start on that whiff punish.
I'm telling you, man, if YaNoob takes it down, we're going to be paying him a visit for some dim sum on him. You know what I'm saying? But here comes Destructive, still trying to find an opening. That's a good time of V-reversal, but right now he has to back off. YaNoob has just been controlling the pace so well.
See, you just messed everything up, Jeremy, because I haven't had dim sum in a long time. Sounds mad good. Let's go, YaNoob.
Let's go, YaNoob. I'm just kidding. No, Destructive again. He still has it in the bag, or at least has some rounds left. But as it stands right now, YaNoob has just done such a great job of controlling the space. Destructive cannot find the opening yet, even using the V-Skill 2s, right? Using Sakamoto, using the Eagle for the bomb. It hasn't been enough, but maybe this young Zeku play might be it. No, he's been letting YaNoob out of the corner too many times.
Okay, well, there we go. The toss back in, and here comes the pressure now. Oh, but the orb, the activation, the ability to get his own pressure. In this situation, nice. Just using that EX Graham, block on the overhead, but the bomb is still there. Another block on the overhead,
no.
But he's got a combo off of 2 crouch light kicks. Is this going to kill? It is. YaNoob has made it into grand finals. He had the orb recall coming there with after the 2 crouching light kicks, got the full combo. Brilliantly done. YaNoob with the kind of okay. Oh no, wait, it's a 2-0 right now.
No, that was 3 because they had to change. They had to change lobbies.
You're right,
lobbies.
Okay.
It is a 3. It is a 3-1. I was going. I liked Destructive playing the Urian. I thought he did just fine with it earlier, right? I mean, it was solid enough to at least like make YaNoob sweat a little bit more, right? There was just a slight mishap trying to move forward when he shouldn't. But I don't know, man. The Zeku play, as good as it could have been, I feel like YaNoob was already ready for it because of playing Deznere a set prior.
Right. And the thing, I think what actually kind of maybe hurt Destructive a little bit is that he won 1 game with Zeku, right? He won 1 game with Zeku, and so he felt like that was the better choice for him.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, it did force the switch up from YaNoob.
Yeah, that was sick. What? And then right here, the activation. You see the 2 orbs come out when she got hit? That was so sick, dude. Had the orbs launching already. YaNoob here trying to take this one, but Destructive coming back. and taking
You
it
see
1-1.
here,
And like I
the
said, maybe
significant
that,
difference there. Go ahead.
you know, but I was about to say maybe that's what kind of convinced him to stick with Zeku, unfortunately. And yeah, like you said, maybe the Urian would have been the right choice, but in the end, YaNoob takes it. Look at this pressure from him using the EX orb, and I don't know if we're gonna see. Oh no, we didn't get to see the EX upper that she threw up, the EX upper orb. That was such a nice call, but you see right there, off of the orb recall, 2 crouching light kicks into super. YaNoob is in grand finals waiting there. And as you can see here on the lower bracket, it is going to be Deznere versus ElChakotay to find out who's gonna go up against Destructive in the lower bracket finals.
Deznere versus Chakotay. Deznere, again, with the Zeku. Still not out of it yet. Chakotay going up against Chakotay using that Mika. I'm kind of curious how the matchup goes. I feel like the only time I've had experience in watching this matchup would be in Infectious versus Luffy.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. And again, that's one of the tricky things. Even as us, like commentators, we watch so many Street Fighter V matchups. There are 42 characters in this game. Like, I'm not going to do the math with combinations and permutations or whatever. That's a lot of different matchups that we have the potential to see. And some of them you just don't run into a lot. And despite the fact that both of these characters are, you know, I mean, I guess Mika's maybe dropped off a little bit, but, you know, still pretty prolific characters nonetheless here.
So we're getting that ready for you guys right now. Chakotay versus Deznere. Again, we've talked a lot about Chakotay, but let me take a look at Deznere's stats actually going into this match. I feel like, I was trying to figure out who else he lost to in the bracket, or at least that was in this bracket, but it was actually Child that kind of stopped him from his first qualifier. But he still managed to make it all the way this far. So he's going to be going off against Chakotay for the first time in just this series, right, up until this point. But a lot of folks are saying Chakotay is going to be the one that takes it with 78%. I see.
Yeah,
I
again,
see.
Chakotay is a player who, you know, obviously very, very strong, does well at multiple NLBCs and such, plays with the strongest players constantly, like, was he Warlord rank at this point in time? So, you know, and a very well-known streamer. So, you know, not surprised that he's going to get the nod here in terms of voting. He definitely has the gameplay to back all that up, but we've seen some amazing play from Deznere so far. So, you know, definitely Deznere has the ability to, again, maybe perhaps call it an upset. You know, I don't know if it's fair to call it an upset, but, you know, with 78% in favor of Chakotay, probably would be considered an upset at this point.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out, right? Chakotay is definitely one of the players that have been pretty much highlighted a lot more often in the North American region as one of the Armika players to watch, right? So Deznere, it's going to be a lot of pretty big shoes to fill, I should say, or a pretty tall order. But Deznere's made it this far, right? He's still going to be putting up quite the fight. It's going to be Zeku versus Armika. Now, let's think about the matchup a little bit. Going into phase 1 from a very shallow standpoint, we're talking about the neutral, right? I think Zeku does a pretty does a pretty decent job of trying to keep Armika out, right? That's just, you know, being very shallow about it. If we're getting a little intricate, right? If we're looking at the pressure from young Zeku, I think his normals are still better than Mika's when it comes to the medium range, up close pressure. The only highlighting factor that Mika has is a couple of things. Being able to change her trajectory mid-air, that's one, if she wants to go for the air approach. Number 2, being able to command grab somebody.
Right. I mean, the key is that, you know, Mika's want to be at that one specific range for the drop kick because it's the scariest right there. Old Zeku can keep you out of that space really well, but old Zeku will get rushed down by a Mika like we're seeing right now. Look at this, ElChakotay going in there. Oh, okay. Gets out of there with the uppercut. Gonna get the side switch on that. What is happening over there? That was the cross up, but not sick. Cross up again.
Yeah, so that was really good defense from Chakotay. Now, it was really fortunate. So Deznere put himself into the corner, And Chakotay actually tried to go for the grab because that's kind of like second nature. It's like you think Zeku would want to go back or push you back into the corner. But no, Deznere actually baited it out correctly. It's just that he was still airborne and couldn't get the punish in time.
Well, there's that crouching medium punch. Very, very good hitbox right above her head. So very good at challenging that Bushin flip at those ranges where it can be ambiguous whether it crosses up with the elbow or stays in front with the kick.
Oh boy, there's gonna be a mix-up city. Nope, I lied. Side switch? What?
Yeah, I feel like there was an execution mistake right there, a judgment error on ElChakotay's part. But I love ElChakotay's use of regular standing heavy kick at those ranges. But here we go, towards the corner now. Gonna get the juggle here. Yep. Now mix up. All right, button in the throw. Deznere ties it up 1-1.
Final round.
I can't get my mind off of that because immediately afterwards he tried to anti-air, or Chakotay tried to anti-air the Bushin flip, but got command grab instead. I don't know if you saw that earlier.
All right, there's that confirm, which I like to call the Fudo confirm right there.
Oh, big punish. Remember we talked about that trajectory change, right, with the body splash? Same side? No,
you can't crouching medium punch if you're getting up from the floor. Oh, close to stun, doesn't quite get it, but here we go. Nadeshko cross up mix up. Now you have to guess for your life. No.
Oh, we still have trigger 2 on deck. We still have trigger 2 on deck. I feel like you could play with young Zeku and harass with the normals or the animals. Oh, that would have been a great time to use trigger 2.
Are you dead? Are you dead?
No.
Ooh.
Almost. I got very lucky, James. I got very lucky.
You're a pixel correct. Oh,
James, the command grab!
It's so fast. It looks like it's a cancel, and she still grabs you. That's so fast.
Deznere had it. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Deznere had it. Chakotay jumped in. He could have used V-Trigger 2. In fact, he could have stayed at young Zeku mode and also kind of abuse the two things, right? The normals that he has in mid-screen, or like I guess mid-range, and the animals. Abuse all two of them, both of those things, and have trigger on deck for the anti-air. You would have been just fine.
Dash up, Rainbow Typhoon, just like that. Okay, good throw tech by Chakotay. Now trying to apply that pressure again. You throw out that regular heavy kick a lot just to throw off. Yep, you see right there to throw off the animation recognition for the drop kick. It gives you an open opportunity like this. Whoa, what was that? Last second cross up right there.
I think, yeah. There was an attempt to walk under, but he stayed on the same side, so a little bit of an awkward situation, a real weird stare down.
All right, here we go.
Ooh. This is a little bit, the drop kick comes in, allowing Chakotay for a little bit more pressure because it leaves him at an advantage. What? Just threaded the needle with that dash in?
Oh, no, now the
James.
counter hit. Mix up. He has not gone to the other side. I do like Deznere turning that left-right mix-up into an uppercut or block mix-up. But I've noticed that Chakotay has stayed on the same side almost every single time. Finally goes for the side switch.
Why
is that so fast? It doesn't look like there's like it looks like he should still be in block stun and that command throw should miss, but it's so fast. And you know, because the EX Rainbow Typhoon has so much range, you could do one light punch as we saw just there, or two crouching light punches into command throw as we saw earlier. So when you're expecting that command throw changes and it catches you off guard, and if you hold up back the entire time, she might try to Lady Mika you out of the air or something.
Oh boy. This is where Chakotay shines, right? Forcing you to block. Oh no, Deznere is not phased at all. Jump out of there.
Ooh, tried to go for a wall jump mix-up. You see that? And then ElChakotay with a crouching medium punch moved far enough forward that he didn't have to deal with that cross-up. But look at this. Nice choice.
I love that.
Yeah.
The final fight combo into the throw, I love it. It looks so clean as Zeku.
We saw that happen with Cody earlier. Remember from Who was it? Was it Destructive who was using who switched to Cody at one point?
It was dreaddragon.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It was dreaddragon. The side switch on that.
Ooh.
Oh, yep. That's gonna catch right there. That should take that round. Deznere on the board here with 1 round.
I like that. I like that a lot from Deznere. Making sure he's swinging towards the end. Oh, the side switch shenanigans. You think Chakotay was the only one that had that? Oh, well, hold my tongue real quick. There's the drop kick. In the corner now. Don't get grabbed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, James.
Yeah, this pressure is so scary, but nice. Challenging after the crouch heavy punch. Not worried about it being at a safer range. Here we go, though. Nadeshko gonna get the side switch this time into the super. Spend that meter. Get this round.
Ugh.
There you go.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Scam in the chat mentioning that you do need to micro-whack after 2 light punches with Armika to get that EX Typhoon after the 2 light punches.
Yeah,
you can do that by
like,
doing half circle back, forward, and then hit 2 punches. And that way you can end it by micro-walking and getting the command input as fast as possible.
I was gonna say, just let her walk a little bit before you let go of or you let the command grab go, right? You can still do it because you're starting off with a forward motion too, you know?
Right. Oh, he tried it again, but there we go. Gets the stun anyway. That throw with a stun. Can this kill? Not gonna be quite enough, but that meaty stand light punch is gonna do it. ElChakotay advances in the bracket 3-0 over Deznere, and will be facing off against Destructive. It was so dominating that she can't even look at it herself. She had to block out her eyes with her hair. It was.
She's ashamed of the way she took it down, is what it was. She was ashamed she did it the way she did it. And I get it. I totally get that.
Yeah. Beautiful stuff there from ElChakotay. No surprise, even after being sent to the lower bracket in the very first round, I felt like he had a great chance of making it all the way back in the grand finals. He's 1 match away from doing that.
I still want to say it was a valiant effort from Deznere trying to play it out and getting the mix-ups going. That was very impressive, right? That was the most mix-ups I've seen on a Zeku. Like, as a Zeku, I should say.
Right. Oh, God, the stun.
Ooh. And look at that. Left, right, mix-ups. What are you going to do? You have to block it or take a throw or a command grab?
Yeah. And there it is, the 1 punch
just within
into
range. And I like Deznere, again, he had his mix-ups going, right? You saw it in the air with the Bushin flip. You saw it off of resets as well. But Chakotay, again, just being the Mika player that he is, it's just too strong, James.
And shout outs to Deznere as well. Obviously going out here in 4th place, but playing so strong. Getting to this point in the first place, obviously showing how strong of a player he is. Great job to him and representing his region. And it is going to be ElChakotay going up against Destructive in the lower bracket finals.
I'm liking it. I'm liking this a lot.
Yeah, for the right to play against YaNoob. And both of these players now looking for revenge. Both of these players looking for revenge against YaNoob. Both of them were sent to losers by YaNoob. So who's going to have that right to try to go back up against him? Is it going to be Destructive or ElChakotay?
Kind of want to see this myself. I'm looking at the matches that Chakotay had against Destructive when it comes to the open qualifier number 2 before this top 8 bracket transpired, right? Destructive actually sent Chakotay into losers in one of the qualifiers, and then Chakotay ran it back in losers and then ended up having Destructive winning it in the open qualifier. So there's already a lot of history between these two going up into this point, right? So it's going to be, I think, Destructive with the upper hand as it stands, but you already know it's going to be pretty tough to call Destructive rocking the Urian, I feel like, during this matchup. And Chakotay, I don't know if he has any other characters right now, because I've only seen Armika from Chakotay.
Well, he played Lucia earlier, don't forget.
Oh,
he
that's right. My mistake.
Earlier. Yeah.
My mistake. We did see that Lucia against YaNoob. That's right. My mistake.
I mean, I'll remember because I'm a Lucia main. So, Chakotay is one of the...
my fault.
The Lucia senseis out there for me, so...
My fault. Yeah, he also streams Lucia and actually put tech up. He puts tech up there for Twitter. My mistake, man.
Oh, yeah,
Tay, if you're watching, I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all good, but here we go. It is going to be Chakotay going up against Destructive over here. And Chakotay going with 1 and V-Skill 2. Interesting. You don't see a lot of Mika players go with that V-Skill 2. That parry?
Oh, boy. Yeah, that'd be sick.
Maybe
I mean,
it's
we'll see if... It's probably for any sort of, like, Aegis Reflector mix-up.
I was also
Probably,
thinking the knees as well, right? It's a last second being able to punish him for going for the knees.
James!
Oh, he made it over the mirror. Chakotay taking round number 1.
That's actually pretty wild. He jumped way over the Aegis Reflector, and Adesco joined in on it. It was a double drop kick. Into the corner. Don't get command grabbed. He knew, and Destructive let it rip with the EX headbutt. So smart. Chakotay didn't have any meter left to confirm off that medium punch.
All right, here we go. Activation mix-up time. Oh, I like the idea of the V shift. Just was too early to dodge Nadeshko. So here comes ElChakotay. You see him trying to bait out that EX headbutt right there. He waited for a second, but there's that one light punch into command throw again. Just raw jump in. Oh my goodness, the walk-up EX Rainbow Typhoon for El. How many rounds has he taken with that move?
I think like more than enough. All the important ones, James. All the important ones. I'm liking this a lot from Chakotay. He is a mix master. We say this all the time. This guy is indeed the mix master. You have no idea what you're supposed to do on defense when it comes to Chakotay, because he has so many routes to open you up for free.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about season 1 and how, you know, there was this golden 7 basically that Nash was a part of. He dropped out, and really Mika, I feel like, took that spot because, you know, as players got better with Mika, her ability to mix you up just got more and more elegant. And after all these years now, it's just gotten to that point where, yeah, a good Mika player, you have no idea what you're getting. Look at this, here we go. And the powerful thing about that, you know, that command throw, the kick command throw, is that it gives her constant pressure. She can dash up and be +2 and then exact the mix up on you again.
Yep. And the command grab is going to be more than enough. It is the Rainbow Typhoon. No, I lied to you all. He lives. Oh, there's a punish, James. I'm sorry. Oh, my God. I thought he was dead. But the punish with the mirror, that's what I'm talking about. That was sick.
Oh, my goodness. That's crazy, dude. That is crazy. Again, you know, like father, like son, I'm infecting you over here with the is this gonna kill? Okay, not gonna spend any meter for the super right there. Gonna keep the meter. Gets the back throw.
And there's the mirror. Oh, he got caught low 2 times over. Or actually just once, really. That's all he needed. Watch out, Adesco. Oh! James. What do you mean?
Oh, there you go. There was the meter spent. There was the meter spent.
Final round.
He got past the headbutt, right? I didn't know if Destructive was going to land in time to get hit by it. That's crazy.
Challenging, and oh no, didn't stand up in time to block that overhead. But wake up buttons when you're that close to stun. That is some bravery right there. Oh, nice choice on the V break.
Yeah, didn't want to suffer any repercussions by done the V-shift rock, right? Because there was a light that was thrown out. Oh,
ooh, not enough to kill. Chakotay could still do this. No, that's standing.
That is fancy footwork. I'm liking that. 2 shorts and a medium kick, pushing him away at just the right space. That was well done.
All right, so we are tied now. I believe that's 1-1 between the players, if I'm not mistaken.
That is
there.
correct. That is correct. Indeed, you are correct. 1-1, all tied up a piece here in this set. It's actually been pretty nutty. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm already feeling it in my throat. I'm feeling kind of hoarse because of the way that these guys are mixing each other up.
Oh, man. All right, crush counter for Destructive, though. Again, Urian, that standing heavy punch crush counter, you pay such a deep price, but guess what? You're in the corner now, so I just get out of there with the knees. All right, B-trigger activated. What side? Oh. Oh.
Oh my god, a stun again. That's gonna be more than enough. More than enough. Chakotay starting things off raw already.
What a round, dude. What a round there. All right, so Chakotay trying to send a message to Destructive saying, I'm still in this. Not phased by that. There we go. The confirm towards the corner. Such a powerful tool again. Mika's neutral.
Down.
Oof.
No knee drops here. Oh god, the stun is imminent, James. No act. Oh.
You get to do these things to 4-frame button characters.
Oh
And
no,
that's
not
a
like this.
safe meaty right there from Chakotay. Look, once you're up to Warlord, you have definitely played a ton of matches, especially against Urians, especially all throughout 2020. You fought a lot of Urians online in 2020. You learn things, you figure things out. You have these kind of tricks all ready to go. ElChakotay busting out some of that knowledge right there. Go with the meaty light punches. If he headbutts, I recover and block because of the startup on that. Chakotay, one game away from trying to get his rematch versus YaNoob.
Oh, does get the punish against the tackle. Destructive has not found any sort of respite in the corner. He's just getting smothered right now. Finds a way out, but still he had to pay a toll for it.
Here we go. Good damage for Destructive now. Gets the throw. Gonna try to keep this pressure going. I love the idea of just planting that mirror there so that even though Nadeshka was going to come and hit him, that there was nothing that Chakotay could have done. But it's not over yet. Chakotay wants that EX Rainbow Typhoon. You know he does. Oh no, wingless airplane. But he's going to get the confirm off the stand medium punch again. Again, the idea here is that, you know, Mika doesn't have great footsies, but if she has meter, that standing medium punch, which is one of her best footsie buttons, can lead to so much off of that EX Peach.
Ooh. Yeah, the shooting Peach being able to confirm off of that. Chakotay definitely has that locked down, but now it's all Destructive. Huge life lead, but here comes the Desco. The blocks are there, and he walks away still blocking. I like that, just in case the command grab were to come, right? He was walking all the way back. He was holding west, and now he's looking to take it. Tying it up against Chakotay, staying alive. Chakotay still at match point with all the advantage right now, but Destructive still climbing his way back to get this tie.
That standing heavy punch charged again. Such a powerful tool to have. Will just eat up that standing medium punch from Mika, but Mika's the one that gets the crush counter off of the drop kick, and here we go. Oh, I feel like he was trying to bait that and he got hit somehow. Oh, here we go. Activation. What's the trick? Yeah, let's go for that. Dash up. No, actually, he waited for a jump. Nice defensive jump back punch by Destructive to get out of there, but Chakotay with a full meter, and he confirmed into Super Bowl ticket. What's he trying? He tried the crouching meter kick under the fireball or something?
I don't know what that was, but he hit himself. It doesn't matter, James! It doesn't matter! You cannot let that rip. There's too much behind it if you do have a normal, and that's going to be more than enough. Chakotay breaking down the science, and he's going to be moving up to grand finals.
This is, like I said, man, like I said, that is matchup knowledge. You know that Urians like to go into the up mirror there, and for the most part, it's safe for most characters, because even if they punch you, they hit the mirror up there. Their head hits the mirror. But Chakotay already with the counter there. You think he made that up on the spot? You think he hasn't done that exact punish a million times by playing those matches online? I mean, that is experience right there. That is being put into a position that you've seen many, many times and just have the punish ready to go. Beautiful stuff by ElChakotay.
Oh my God, just the back and forth in this set. Despite it being 3-1, it was still close with each and every round, right? The numbers from what you see 3-1 don't tell the entire story because this was a very explosive set from both players.
What a great match between these two players. And again, you know, as I mentioned with Deznere playing so strong and doing such a great job in this tournament, destructive as well here, third place as well, and just been killing it in the online tournament circuit for the past year and a half, basically. And but Chakotay there with the smart reads on that super, that was just disgusting. But Destructive is going to go home with, what is it, $100, I believe? He's going to go home with a good chunk of change right there.
Playing for free? Playing in the comfort of your own home? You could be in your boxers for all we know.
Gotta find time, you know. All of us, we're busy people, but we find the time to play the matches when we need to. We get in the challenges, and we definitely are out here to play some Street Fighter. Show your strength, show your stuff. Again, making it out here to top 8 just shows what a strong competitor you are, winning your regions like that.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
here we see the breakdown between the two players. YaNoob, is he 11-0 here? His win rate is 1. That's right, 100%, ladies and gentlemen.
From what he's looking at right now, again, he is technically undefeated when it comes to his route, but I feel like there were a couple of times where, you know, the matches didn't go completely 3-0, right? There were a couple of 3-1s in there. So as it stands right now, YaNoob is on fire. That's the point. YaNoob is the one sitting on the winner's side, the upper bracket side of Grand Finals. So what needs to happen is, if Chakotay wants to take it down, he needs to get the reset. He needs to win 3 matches to bring YaNoob down to the lower bracket, essentially. Then they play off again, and that will determine our champion here for our warm-up rounds here at EVO.
That's right. I hope everybody at home has been enjoying this, watching some high-level Street Fighter action. It's always good stuff, always fun to watch high-level players go at it against each other. And we are now here at Grand Finals. This is a rematch. Now, remember, ElChakotay was sent to loser's bracket, obviously, by YaNoob, but that means he needs to win 2 sets of 3 out of 5. You know, you got to win the first set to send YaNoob to loser's bracket, to the lower bracket, and then from there, you can only be eliminated out of the tournament if you lose while in the lower bracket. So Chakotay, a lot of work ahead of him, but we have seen some crazy 6-0s in Grand Finals, and then we've also seen it before where the person on the upper side just takes it 3-0 themselves. So it could go either way here.
It's funny, you had to hear it from the father-son combo. You had to hear it over twice, just in case you guys haven't been following with some of the double elimination brackets that we've done throughout the years for the fighting game community, right? Again, if this is your first time really venturing into it, first of all, welcome. This is a great time because Street Fighter is in a really great place right now. We highly encourage you guys to check it out. Number 2, you guys are seeing some really solid play, man. These are some of the cats that have been grinding their way up to the top. And some of these names actually are relatively, have just found, you know, success in the game from grinding it out, right? Like, some of these are newcomers. Some of these are names that I haven't really seen just yet, but you guys could also see yourselves here. I kind of like to harp in on that because, you know, the new players really make up the scene and keep it thriving. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. That's why open brackets are always going to be a lifeblood of the fighting game community. It's all from the arcade days. If you put up a quarter, you had a right to play, man. That's the way it always works. So, and here, if you enter the tournament, you absolutely have a right to make a name for yourselves. And so who is it going to be? Is it going to be YaNoob or ElChakotay taking this tournament down here on our road to EVO?
Man, that was a meaty flying peach.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was, actually. I'm pretty sure he got punished by a light, but either way, YaNoob, here he comes. Here he comes. This is the run back.
You see all those turns being stolen by Chakotay. You saw with the Lady Mika, Lady Mika, Lady Mika. This time was Lady Mika. He knew that YaNoob was playing very defensive after blocking that, the little uppercut, because that thing is plus on block. So you're scared to hit buttons afterwards. Chakotay trained him, and so he was able to sneak in with the dash into the Rainbow Typhoon.
Man, that's a lot of conditioning, James. I don't know anything about conditioning, but I'll tell you what, I see it. I know it when I see it. Oh boy, the explosion. Yo, he landed right into that landmine, and YaNoob made him pay for it. I feel like it could have been a little bit more damaging, spending a bar for it, but either way, that was really unfortunate. Chakotay, he really is a pusher. He'll force his way in no matter what or how much damage he takes.
All right, here we go. Slide into activation, but it's the chair. We got chair action here. Look, how many medium punches was that? Get the side switch. You have another chair to set up the EX dead.
James.
There you go.
You know what would have been crazy with the animation? You know how you call Nadeshiko with the chair for V-Trigger 2? If she did Rainbow Typhoon and Nadeshiko hits you on the other side with the chair back and forth, that would be a sick interaction. That would be godlike.
That would have been so sick. Man. All right, we need another patch
whap.
just to put that in.
That would be sick. I would love to see that hit.
We need another patch just to add that in there now.
Capcom, you're welcome. It's never going to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, YaNoob right now trying his best to replicate what he had before, but you can see right here ElChakotay being far more aggressive. We talked about YaNoob's defense, that being one of the things that helped him survive. But look at this, ElChakotay with read after read after read after read, and that's the round. Just like that, he went for command throw, regular throw, and that got the stun.
That was 6 grabs. I think it was 6. James, 6 grabs, dude.
I talked about that kick command throw, giving her the ability to keep applying pressure. Oh no, he did it too early, and that would have worked too, because I saw YaNoob walk forward a little bit. It would have worked. He just did it too fast.
Oh my god, the soul orb is coming in, keeping him under pressure, but Chakotay finds the gap, uses the lights to confirm into the shooting peach, but now here comes YaNoob.
Yeah, didn't feel like he was close enough to get the orbs to release the combo, so he wasn't going to try. Nice anti-air with one of the orbs off of the block. Again, he's got those orbs, going to be able to keep the pressure on that, but the confirm again from ElChakotay. Did he not say that we have seen some crazy 6-0s here in Grand Finals? ElChakotay is 1/3 of the way there right now with a 2-0 lead, and he is doing it in dominant fashion. And again, you can see it right there. Mika can't even look at it herself. It is too...
She should be ashamed of herself. You know how many grabs happened in the corner, James? You know, if you do that in the arcade back in the day, you would get beat up.
And I can tell you that definitely happened. I have personal experience, because you know how many people I beat up. No, just kidding.
Dang!
You can,
James!
You can definitely imagine that I was probably more often on the receiving end of that.
Jeez, dude. I gotta say, man, Tay does what it takes, whatever it takes to get the W, and he should be proud of it, because again, those mixes are refined. They've been refined and defined for over the years of him playing Mika, and if you can't guess correctly, he's going to take advantage of you then. If you can't get out of the mix-ups of the command grab or the regular throw or the meaty, which he does so well of, exercising his wheel of options, then you're going to get got. That's just the nature of the game. You have to have better reads than Tay.
Yeah, absolutely. And so at this point in time, so here's the interesting thing. When you are on the winner's side of Grand Finals, the nice thing about it is if you're getting washed, like 0-2 right here in the first set, you have the opportunity to maybe just kind of throw away the next game and pick a random character like a Urien. As you said, this is a character that he's been trying. He could test the waters with this. Now, again, we're in a very similar situation to what happened when we saw Destructive try Zeku versus YaNoob earlier. ElChakotay just blew up a Urien, right? And so now you're saying you've got to play Urien better than Destructive did to be able to take this. But it's a good start for YaNoob so far.
Oh, and the whiff punish off the crouching medium punch 2 with the conversion. YaNoob is definitely in there with Urien.
Oh,
the punish, he knows, James. He knows.
Punish. The full punish with the jumping for the stun. Oh, okay. Going for something fancy. That was not the right choice right there, but here we go. The chair. I love the V-shift. Knock him back. But you still got to deal with the chair. Command throw, the mix. Oh, that's just goes in for the meaty slide for the second chair.
Oh,
there we go.
No. Do it again. Don't get command grabbed. He's going to do it again, James.
Meaty? No, he goes for the neutral jump.
Oh my God.
ElChakotay is giving you the business right now.
Even the kid in the back couldn't believe it. It's like, oh, you almost got command grabbed again? Oh, you fell for it again?
All right, here we go. Command throw. Especially against the 4-frame character. You're +3 in that situation after kick, command throw, dash up.
Yo, do you see the snap in his leg in this suit? This guy Urien is schmoving with the coral kick, but Chakotay body splashing in there. I like it. The buffer, or excuse me, the stand light kick into the tackle. Now you have to guess my throws. Urien, 3 power bombs in a row. I've seen triple German suplexes on wrestling matches, but I've never seen triple power bomb.
Look, I'll tell you right now, I mean, honestly, this is not looking, even if YaNoob loses this one, it definitely might be looking better than what the Menat was doing. Even though, YaNoob won on the winner's side with Menat, I think there's an argument to be said to sticking with this character. The V-break to try to keep her in the corner. Chakotay definitely tried to challenge, but that's not going to happen here. Okay. Here's Chakotay again, mistimed it, but no punish from YaNoob.
Oh, big jump in. Oh, that was so smart. That was so smart. So the thing behind that is, right, you corner yourself thinking, yeah, you're dead. I was going to say, you corner yourself, right? And force YaNoob into thinking there's going to be a command grab to get the side switch back.
Right.
So YaNoob went for a movement option on defense, and Chakotay managed to catch him with all the lights into that confirm. That was really well done for the reset.
And there you go. There you have it. YaNoob has been sent to the lower bracket. We're tied at 0-0 now. And so this is it right here. This is the final set here for this region's EVO warm-up rounds. Who's gonna take it? Is it ElChakotay, YaNoob? And like I said, I felt like the Urien might have been a stronger choice, and that is indeed what YaNoob is gonna stick with here. But again, ElChakotay taking out Destructive earlier, and here on his way, trying to do it to YaNoob again.
And the light pressure as the meaty, very smart from Chakotay, baiting it out yet again, getting rid of the threat of headbutt. A throw will do it. James! Two lights into Rainbow Typhoon?
Jeremy. That wasn't even the EX Rainbow Typhoon
That's
either.
what's messed up! That is what's messed up!
And there's the read on the fireball again. The command throw. We go for the meaty Lady Mika. Oh no, and YaNoob, see, showing a little bit of the rust, this is not my main character syndrome right there, dropping a combo. ElChakotay, okay, nice patience from YaNoob, staying crouched that whole time. The V break to get through the overhead. Yeah, Chakotay feels like he doesn't. Is that dead? Because that gray health.
I lied to you all, I guess, just as much as Chakotay has been making YaNoob guess. Oh my God.
That gray health That first hit drained all of the gray health. There wasn't much left, and Chakotay is marching his way. As soon as YaNoob won, like I said, I felt like Chakotay still might be the favorite to take this tournament, and this is why. This is what the experience shows you right here. Are we going back to Mika at this point? Is that the decision right here? Because again, a couple of those crucial drops, and that fight did not go as well as the previous one with Yuri. And I think YaNoob going back to Manat.
Yeah, I don't think he did a bad job with Manat, right? It's just a classic case of, you know, if you're not feeling as confident, they'll switch over. But realistically, I think he did just fine. He took down Chakotay in their first encounter against each other. But as it stands right now, he needs to pull something out. He is in a huge deficit. The reset has already happened. He's down 2 games. This is his final shot. He needs to do it as Manat.
Oh, man, yep. That's the expectation right now. Unless he busts out some crazy third character that we weren't aware that he's learned how to use.
Rose? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
hey, you know, I mean, that's the mentor, right? I mean, maybe, like we said, man, this game is at a point right now where it's so hard to be that surprised at this point because so many characters are viable, and, you know, there's going to be a character that suits your style pretty well. But, I mean, for YaNoob, that definitely is Manat. So let's see if he can make this, come back in for this. But let's see. Drum roll.
It is the Manat
Yep.
pick. Yeah,
Back to
100% the Manat pick, and it makes perfect sense, right? If you go down, you better go down swinging with your main character. I feel like you were on the money when you talked about his Yuri, and you see the uncomfortability. You see him that is not his main character. But to be quite honest with you, Chakotay is only, I feel like, one of the only players to make him feel that way. The way that Chakotay plays, it makes anybody really feel that way.
All he needs to do is get in a couple of times. And so, like I said, Mika prefers and dominates at the range where she can get her drop kick. That's not where she's going to be able to dominate YaNoob. So you see, instead of trying to push, you saw him jump back a couple of times. He's really trying to make sure he can find his way to bypass into being right next to YaNoob. So this is a great round for YaNoob here to start. This is what he needs to do. Rebuild that confidence that he can defeat ElChakotay. So ElChakotay is going to try his best to bypass that range right there. Actually, no. He just gets in there with a raw drop kick and then a dash command throw.
Oh, not just fine for YaNoob. Now, he did the work for him, really, pushing Mika to the corner after that side switch. Now Manat has so much estate to work with, but the plus frames is just so intimidating, and Chakotay knew it. Went for a dash up immediately after the block, charge, drop kick, and now it's all Manat getting smothered and cornered and stunned.
Tried to backdash in the corner to avoid the command throw, but it turned out to be the regular throw, and that's smart on Chakotay's part, going for the regular throw, knowing it would recover in time, that he could punish the backdash like that. Oh! Just flying peach right over the orb. Here we go, throw into the corner, pressure.
Oh. If Chakotay gets a full-on sequence, that's it. If YaNoob is stuck in this vortex, it's over. There's gonna be... Oh, no, not like James, like this.
No.
There's not a lot of scaling. Not a lot of scaling. Not dead yet. A couple of lights. And enough for the Rainbow Typhoon. Chakotay with the reset and the win over YaNoob.
That is 2-0 now for Chakotay. He is in there trying to make this a 6-1 comeback here.
James, it's over. It's over. It's done. It's done. That was 3.
That was 3? No.
No, I'm lying to you. I'm lying to you. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Here we go.
You know,
so he forced to change it to Manat, and we're No, I'm messing with you. He's forced to change into Manat, right? But we haven't seen him fight back. You haven't seen him fight back too much. It's the corner pressure that really messes with Chakotay. Really messes with YaNoob.
Dude, well, look at this. I like this from YaNoob right now, trying to play a little bit more of an aggression game. But now back to this, and here we go. Chakotay got in, but nice check with YaNoob on that crouch medium kick to get him out of this situation. But here comes the Deshko. The freeway in with the chair. Jump away. I like that, but no orb.
Oh my God. Where did that hit, James? Where did that hit?
The crazy thing about that is that if that did not hit, that would have been so negative. That would have been a very bad situation for YaNoob. But good, keeping him out, gets the shimmy, and then push him out. Back full screen. Here we go. This is what YaNoob wants to play. This zoning game. Frustrate Mika. Find the opportunity then to sneak in, but until then, here comes Chakotay. Yep. Oh, he's in.
The orb doesn't go anywhere because he got hit on the way over. What's the schmicks?
Oh my God, that was a
Chakotay
stun.
is so sick. The reset. The Deshko coming in. James, he's doing it again and again, just mixing YaNoob and everybody at home as well. Nobody knows where to block.
And you know what? You're probably right when you said it's over, because oh my God, he did it again. All right. Oh, here we go. All right. Chakotay back on this pressure situation. The confirm again. YaNoob is shook. He's scared right now. He's not sure what to do. Nice jump out there. Okay. Here's a big opportunity for YaNoob. Gotta get the damage. Goes for the reset, but Chakotay with the block. Again, he was waiting for that. He needs one hit in the critical art to be able to take this, but he doesn't have the meter. Actually,
He
YaNoob
does have the meter
though.
now.
He gets the super. He's still in it. It's not over yet. My bad. Let me fix my face, as Yipes would say. YaNoob still in this.
After that blocked reset, when I saw YaNoob jump over Chakotay, I was thinking to myself, it's only a matter of time until Tay gets unleashed. It's only a matter of time. But I was absolutely wrong. YaNoob still managing to clutch it out, having that critical art on deck for a while, being able to release and get one on the board.
Yep. Let's see if that can help YaNoob get a little momentum there. Try to throw out that standing medium punch before he got the orb back, so nothing. But there we go, using that V skill to keep the pressure going. That was not a big punish by YaNoob, unfortunately.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a perfect frame trap right there with that heavy kick afterwards. But here we go. Big damage. Yeah, YaNoob looking good.
My
now,
God.
Here we go. Okay.
YaNoob throwing in a little bit of that tech there, getting the throw bait with the drill to make you think he's going to go for the throw. Looking very clean right now, but don't count out.
Ooh, the V shift, that was nice. Avoids both the meaty and the command throw.
Ugh.
Good confirm.
Sit him down.
YaNoob now trying to apply that pressure. Not quite stunned yet. Almost there. That's why we have the V reversal instead of the V trigger attempt for comeback. He wanted to keep himself from getting stunned, but YaNoob, look at this, trying to tie it up 2-2, trying to get away. Vicious.
What's going on, James? What's happening? The critical art is here.
And just like that, in one quick sequence, Chakotay puts himself at tournament point. He needs one round. This is one round here for ElChakotay. For that $350, gets in there with the brimstone.
Oh my goodness, still swinging out is YaNoob. It's not quite over yet. Backing away.
Too far away.
The punish, the explosion, applying more pressure. The throw now. Watch the orb from above.
Oh, not in time, and a good jump away from that command throw. Gets to the other side, but the armor from ElChakotay. He's going for too many command throws now. Yep, that orb will hit on its way back like that.
And the pressure from YaNoob, so many plus frames, all for the let go, and now YaNoob has tied it up. He's keeping the mix even harder to keep track of with all the meter he spent. He kept them at plus scenario so many times over. Chakotay didn't even know what to press.
Who told you that Manat is a zoner? Who told you that? Because clearly she can rush you down just the same. What a sequence there by YaNoob. 2-2. Here we go. Final game to find out who is going to win this tournament. YaNoob with the down 0-2, coming back 2 straight to take it to the final game here. This is how we wanted to close out this event, with some good matches here. Chat, who you guys got, man? Who you guys are gonna be, YaNoob or ElChakotay?
I gotta say, man, technically YaNoob is down 5 games straight because of the reset. Chakotay has been busting them wide open. There hasn't been a single mix-up blocked from the first set up until those those other 2 games from the second set. And I gotta say, YaNoob, it looked like he was down and out, but there was something within him that was just like, nah, it's time to start playing. There's a whole different story. His defensive calls are pretty much on point. His reads against the command grabs have been what saved him a good amount of the times. Yeah. But I gotta say, this is the most offensive Menat I've seen in a long time. And I feel like YaNoob is navigating that piloting that so well to apply so much pressure on Chakotay.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if Chakotay might be switching up to V-Trigger 1, perhaps, to get more access to it. And Chakotay might be trying to fake the command throws a little bit more this time. Maybe try to catch YaNoob from jumping away. But it's not just going to be... Yep, it is a change to V-Trigger 1 and also a wardrobe change. Here we go. Trying to get the charge.
I don't even know if she brings the I don't know if she brings the microphone out to battle when it comes to hunting monsters, James. At that point, she should just be a bard, right? Or like
True, yeah. There you go.
A horn main.
But look at this, YaNoob again playing this offense. Great jump away from that Peach, but a great job there. And look at that side switch. That's perfect. And yeah. Trying to use that crouch heavy punch, but here comes YaNoob. He's learned that he can't play this keep out game with not gonna get the punish. YaNoob getting the overhead, not enough to kill.
Jesus,
oh my goodness.
The turnaround right now. YaNoob is looking at tournament point, bringing it all the way back from a huge deficit. Can he close it out now?
No dash ups for you, Chakotay, and really YaNoob's read. Oh my gosh, challenging with his own sweep with no way to keep it safe. He just did it.
God.
The orb explosion. Okay,
and then jump in here from Chakotay. This is huge. This is huge, James, for the momentum swing and the positioning nonetheless. Gets the shooting piece 3 times over. Watch out for the grabs. Is he going to go for the meaty? He does.
And no orb. Okay. Oh, see? No orb too far away, but YaNoob gets away. He gets away. He's trying to find the opportunity. He activates it, but at what cost?
Activation time for the trigger. If he gets hit with one more mix-up after this, if the reset happens, the critical art is going to fly, and YaNoob can take it. He's going to get it. The critical art is there after 2 lights. Is this gonna kill? Yes, indeed. Yes! And YaNoob takes it. He takes it over Chakotay with the run back.
ElChakotay is gonna go down after being up 2-0. YaNoob with 3 matches in a row from being down 0-2 takes it, and he is the North American EVO warm-up rounds champion. What an amazing adjustment. And you saw it right there. He was trying to play defensive in those first 2 matches. Well, actually, I should say in the first match of the second set, because he was Urian in the first one. And he was trying to play defensive in the first one. And then afterwards, he said, you know what? That's not working. I'm actually doing better by playing aggressive. Him switching to the aggressive style is the difference maker and the adjustment that he needed to take this tournament. Congratulations to YaNoob.
I can't believe it, James. If you were to tell me that after winning 5 games straight, you end up not taking down the tournament, I wouldn't have believed you. Chakotay was on a superb run from his positioning in the lower bracket, right? And it looked like it was all him. Every one of these highlights, I feel like, are going to be about him because of how well he was schmixing YaNoob. But it all changed when YaNoob decided to be a little bit more aggressive with that Menat. And I got to say, man, that was probably the best set I've seen in a very long time.
Oh, it was so good. The adjustments made by all the players. But look, this is when YaNoob started making the comeback. Pressure, aggression. Guess what? Pressure, aggression, constantly. And here we go, the counter pokes. You see right there from the anti-air orb is what got it. Wow, beautiful play from YaNoob. And like I said, the adjustments from YaNoob to go on the offense right there to take that tournament. Congratulations. You see there on the top left, Grand Finals 0-3. Chakotay then took 2 more, 5 games in a row. And then YaNoob rattling off 3 in a row on his own. And if you look over there on the upper bracket at the very first round, YaNoob won that 3-1. These two against each other went 6-6 in this tournament.
Godlike. That's actually godlike. I gotta say, I used my commentator's curse for EVO. Did you see how I said it's over? It's over. I thought Chakotay had it in the bag, but boy, was I mistaken. YaNoob, RTSD made it all the way back to take it down, and I couldn't be more impressed than that, honestly, James. I was a clinic with Minot.
That was so good. That was some high quality fighting games right there. And
fighting games and adaptamentations, as they say in the UK.
Look, if anybody here, watching on the PlayStation channel, hasn't watched a lot of fighting games before and, doesn't have, this is what it's about. This is what fighting games are about. This kind of hype and the mental battle between the players. It's so good. And you can see we've got so many games here for you guys in the warm-up rounds. You can see there's Mortal Kombat 11, Tekken 7, and then on the side tournaments, we got games like Skullgirls, we got, Soul Calibur, and then of course more side tournament games, Dragon Ball Fighters, Grand Blue Fantasy, Under Night in Birth. We've got all sorts of games coming at you for this tournament here.
Gundam Extreme versus Maximus being on the lineup is actually super sick. I can't wait to see that. That's the first time I get to see this on this scale, but I've seen gameplay of it in general. That's pretty hype. You guys make sure to check out that schedule. And again, if you guys want to be a part of it all, or if you guys happen to miss any of it, compete.playstation.com is where you need to go to get involved, sign up and register for some of these events, as well as tune in for all of the updates, news and updates in regards to all the events that have been going down for you guys to participate in and be a part of our top 8. Now, again, it's been a wild ride here for the warm-up rounds for all the fighting games we've had, but I do appreciate you guys tuning in for the North American bracket for Street Fighter V. James, I gotta ask you, man, what are your final thoughts for this tournament?
Again, every region is bringing it, right? So what they're doing here with the different regions, same thing with the Capcom Pro Tour as well. Being able to see all these people from these different regions, representing. We had SoCal and East Coast here in the Grand Finals, or actually Chakotay in Midwest or East Coast. I can't.
Chakotay is from Michigan, so.
Michigan, there you go. So Midwest there, and then in CPT we've got like the Brazil, we've got all the the Middle East. We have all these. Fighting games are a universal language, man, and seeing the players play from all around the world and representing like this and showing how much we enjoy fighting games from all around the world. Anybody can get into this, man. Just come in here, pick up the game, start playing some matches online and going at it and getting your practice in here. And you could be one of these players representing it as well. Mm-hmm. Street Fighter V is in a wonderful place. Really competitive game right now. So many strong players. I love it, and I hope you guys at home are loving it as well.
Without a doubt, now is a great time to get into Street Fighter V. Again, check it out on the PlayStation Store. And don't forget, you guys have been with us for time and time again. You guys are the community. You guys are what makes us all thrive together. And we hope you guys continue to do so and keep on playing all the fighting games that you possibly can, because it is a great and wonderful thing. From Vicious, James Chen, and all of us back here for PlayStation Tournaments, we appreciate you guys. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
PlayStation